Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder. What a goal!
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You are tuned to Sports Sound. As I said, a really busy afternoon of action ahead. All the reaction to come. We'll have updates from all the big games, but our commentary match this afternoon should be a cracker. It comes from Ibrox. It's Rangers up against Hearts with Kenny Miller, Alan Preston and Liam McLeod.
Thank you, Kenny. Things slightly different this afternoon because of that big Calcutta Cup clash at Murrayfield. I'll keep you up to date with what's going on across the country, and as Kenny says, we've got reporters out and about at 7 of the other matches in the Premiership, all of those covered, 3 in the Championship. And as we go along, I'll keep you up to date with the scores as they go in League 1 and 2. The two teams are out in the pitch here at Ibrox. You can hear the noise in the background. The two captains, Lawrence Shanklin and James Tavernier, flanking the match official, who is Nick Walsh this afternoon. The Rangers lineup shows 4 changes from the side. They beat St Johnstone last Sunday. Barisic, Cantwell, Wright and Silva all out. Of course, Cantwell out altogether. Yilmaz, Lawrence, Sterling and Dessers come in. It's Butland in goal. Tavernier, Goldson, Suter, Yilmaz, Diamandi and Lundstrom, with Sterling, Lawrence and Cortez behind Dessers. The subs for Rangers this afternoon: McCrory, Silva, Wright, Roof, Davis, Balogun, Barisic, Raskan, McCausland. Kemar Roof hasn't been seen since the game against St Johnstone at the tail end of December. 3 changes here for Hearts. Atkinson, Grant and Vargas are in for Limbakisa, Fraser and Forrest. It's Sander Clark in goal. Kingsley, Kent and Rolls at the back. Atkinson and Cochrane either side there, with Nieuwenhof, Beningame and Grant behind Shankland and Vargas. Rangers are going to pay tribute right now to Ian McMillan, who passed away, and the 2 sets of players are lined up along the edges of the centre circle, and Ibrox will pay tribute to another lost star.
Please join us now in celebrating his life and achievements with a minute's applause.
Yeah, Rangers paying tribute to Hall of Famer Ian McMillan, who passed away on the 16th of the month. He was a huge part of Airdrie Onion's history as well. So we're going to be getting underway a few minutes late here at Ibrox. 3 minutes past 3. They're already underway in Paisley and in Kilmarnock, a couple of minutes into those matches, as Hearts prepare to kick off in the maroon and white left to right, shooting towards the Copeland Road stand as we watch from the main stand. Rangers in their blue shirts, white shorts, black socks with the red tops. Nick Walsh gets the game underway. It is first against third, and 2 of the form sides in Europe, never mind Scotland, as the long ball from Kai Rolls with the left foot out to this near side comes off a Rangers head and out of play for a Hearts throw. And amongst these incredible statistics right now, Hearts looking to win an 8th successive away game, which is quite incredible. They're currently on the same points tally they had when they split Rangers and Celtic in 2005-06, that season that started under George Burley, as Dujan Sterling picks up in the midfield and gives it away. Cochrane flighting it out to this near side. It's going to be a comfortable take here for Yilmaz, up the line to Cortez, who hits it with the right foot first time to Lawrence. Back to Cortez on this near side. Atkinson sliding in as Kingsley puts it out for a Rangers throw-in on the Rangers left as they shoot towards the Broomloan Road end. And it's Yilmaz onto the head of John Lundstrom, who really has come back to terrific form under Philippe Clement. Rangers looking to win a 10th successive match, Hearts a 9th successive match, as Lawrence picks up, looking to feed it through to Sterling, who starts wide in the right, and Hearts have enough bodies in the way. They've started so quickly in these games this season, Rangers, in the last period of time at Ibrox, as Cortez to Diamandi at the edge of the box, he shoots and scores. What a goal! Diamandi, who broke the deadlock in Perth 6 days ago, shoots low with the left foot into the bottom right corner of the net to make it 2-2 for him, and Rangers hit the front just into the second minute at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Heart of Midlothian 0.
And what a start to the game here at Ibrox. You know, I was just going to touch on this battle on this left-hand side, maybe between Cortez and Atkinson, maybe moving forward in this game. But the ball moves in from the left-hand side, from Cortez across to Diamandi. And like last week up at McDermott Park, he just takes a touch, he shifts it, and he's no other thought than to get that shot away quickly. This time, on his favoured left foot, he just drags it into the bottom corner of Xander Clark's net. It's an outstanding finish for Diamandi for 2-2.
That's the worst possible start for Hearts. You know, I said that before the game, they've got to keep it tight early on, and there we are, 2 minutes on the clock and they're 1 down. It's a lovely touch from him. Beningeri goes to close him down, he just sidesteps him, wrong foots him, and then hits it into the bottom corner.
Rangers have a man down over on the far side. We'll get to that in a moment. I think it's the goal scorer, Diamandi, who's down as Shanklin picks up in the centre circle, knocking it forward, cut out by the former Hearts defender Suter, and back out to Diamandi, who's back in his feet and down the line to Sterling. So Rangers with the first goal in the Premiership this afternoon. Not the first goal all told, though. We're going to go through those in a moment as Tavernier crosses in. Too close there to Xander Clark. Let's go to Somerset Park. Chick Young watching here, United Wraith Rovers.
Yeah, just in the wake of your goal at Ibrox, Liam, we had a goal here for Wraith Rovers, the championship chasers in this league. Great move down the right side. What a ball put out. It was Zach Rudden at the far post. He was never going to miss it. Great move by the Rovers. Ball swung in and they got it beyond the goalkeeper making his debut for United, Josh Clark. It is Ayr United 0, Wraith Rovers 1.
Great start for the Rovers there in the championship as Yilmaz puts it across, but it's cut out and it is cleared as well. There is that early kick-off in League 2. Dumbarton 2-1 up against Stranraer. Just started the second half there, kicking that one off at 2 o'clock. And that is to save on floodlight usage by all accounts, as Tavernier picks up wide in the right for Rangers. Long ball into the box, flicked on by Cortez, but he can only head it out onto this near side for a throw-in to Hearts. But it's, again, Rangers starting the game positively, and Philippe Clement down there was punching the air in celebration as Diamandi found that bottom right corner, as Rangers look to open up a 5-point lead at the top of the Premiership and pile the pressure on Celtic, who go to Motherwell tomorrow. As Chick was saying, Wraith Rovers an early goal there at Somerset. It was 4 each the last time those two met in December at Starks Park, as Rovers look to do the double over Ayr at Somerset, the season having won 2-1 there earlier in the campaign. So throw into Hearts on this near side. No goals in the other matches other than the 3 I've told you about in the Premiership, Championship and League 2, as that goes out to play for a Rangers throw-in. Rangers have started like a train here as Lawrence finds Cortez, the ball down the line for Lundstrom's cut out by Atkinson and out for a throw-in. It's really important times this for Hearts here. Less than 5 in, 1-0 down, and Rangers are hunting down a second already.
They are, and even that, there's a poor touch from Muirnoff there, and we've just seen one as well for Yilmaz for Rangers. But Hearts just need to take the sting out the game if they can, but Rangers are all over them just now.
It is Callum Nieuwenhof. Some possession for Hearts, gets the better of Lundstrom after working the 1-2 with Atkinson. It bounces out to this near side, stayed in play, and it's Suter down the line. Yilmaz, who moves in field, and Nieuwenhof is there, the referee. Yep. Well, I'm not surprised actually after that previous challenge. Was it Nieuwenhof who went in the strong challenge in the midfield? They're going to have to replace the ball, and there'll be a uncontested bounce ball down below us here. Referee Walsh will leave it for Yilmaz, because Rangers left it very late to turn a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 victory when they were here in the autumn. That wonderful Shanklin header looked to have set Hearts on the way to a first top flight win here since 2012. There's Desser's flag eventually goes up in the Govan stand. Sandy Jardine stand side over there, level with the edge of the D. of the Hearts box. I suspect there wasn't much that Xander Clark could have done to keep out that Diamande effort.
Absolutely not. I think he's, as soon as he shifted onto that left foot, he just pulls it low and hard into the bottom left-hand corner of Xander Clark. So it was it's a wonderful finish, and he's done it so quick as well. It's a touch and shift, and the shot was away and beyond Xander Clark basically before he could move. It's a really, really positive start for Rangers. They've got control of the game. It's going to be, even at this early stage, all for Hearts to do is just to try and wrestle a bit of that ball off Rangers.
Ruth and Wallace with the goals for Dumbarton, who came from behind to lead Stranraer 2-1 in that early kick-off. That's Tony Wallace's 12th goal of the season in the bottom tier, as Cortez rolls it back to Suter and then to Goldson. But it's fair to say Mohamed Diamande has introduced himself well and truly as a Rangers player. 2 outstanding goals from outside the penalty box in these 2 fixtures for Rangers in the last week. And that's a lovely touch by Sterling away from Cochrane down the right-hand side, rolling it forward towards the bylines. Too much on it though, and Frankie Kent lets it go behind the byline and behind for the goal kick to Hearts. It's a big week for Hearts, this one, Alan. We'll know a lot about this Hearts team over the course of the next week. They've got the derby on Wednesday and then Celtic come calling next Sunday.
Yeah, it's 3 of the biggest games of the season for them. Coming here against a Rangers team that's on form. They'll wait to see how Celtic do tomorrow. And then obviously the derby's midweek as well, so it's very, very interesting for them. And you're right, for the good running fixtures, where it started off by that one at Parkhead, but then it's been, I wouldn't say easy, but good fixtures, kind fixtures for them. But they've got tough ones coming up.
Rangers have it with the Yilmaz just moving that one back, though. It's a long clearance there from Butland up towards the halfway line. It comes all the way back to Connor Goldson. Let's go to Capello, Morton. We're talking about how good these two have been, and they have been in wonderful form, but nobody's in better unbeaten form than Greenock Morton right now. Yeah. They're at home to Airdrieonians. Billy Dodge is at Capello.
No, you're right, Liam. 14 unbeaten, could be 15. George Oakley has just made it 1-0. It was a good run down the left from Katongo, just hung up a ball to the back post, and Oakley's there to knock it home. So it's Morton 1, Airdrie 0.
Scored some important goals for Morton this season as George Oakley, and that takes his tally up to 12 for the campaign. He's most recently got the winner against Motherwell in the Cup, and they've got Hearts to look forward to in a couple of Mondays' time under the lights at Capello. What a cup tie that could be, live in front of the BBC Scotland cameras. It's a throw in for Hearts, midway inside their own half, over on the left-hand side. Up the line from Cochrane, it's won by Tavernier. Rangers with a 1-0 lead here. Diamande with the goal. That's nodded away by Kai Rolls into the centre circle. Lundstrom picks up and finds Yilmaz, who'll turn it out to this near side for Cortez. Can't quite keep it in play. It's out for a Hearts throw-in. And Rangers, in the last 49 games that they've taken the lead, they have not lost. And that dates back to, regurgitated this one a couple of times recently because of the fact they keep taking the lead in matches, and there have been plenty of times that Rangers have lost the first goal in games over the last 18 months to 2 years, but 49 times they have managed to emerge unscathed, having scored the first goal. Let's go back to check at Somerset in the Championship.
Yeah, we've got a cracker here. United have equalised. Roy Silla with the goal scorer. Real game ahead tennis inside the Wraith Rovers box. Eventually Silla, it fell to him just inside the 6-yard box, and he poked it over the line. Game on here. Scott Brown's side back in it. It is Ayr United 1, Wraith 1.
Chance for Rangers. Lawrence sloppy at the back from Hearts. It's Cortez who picks up on this near side. There's been another goal incredibly at Capello. We'll go to Billy in a moment. It's Cortez firing the ball across. It comes all the way through. Tavernier will pick it up wide in the right at the right angle of the box. Lifts the ball in. Headed away by Atkinson. Breaks to the edge of the area for Lundstrom, who heads it out to this near side for Cortez. Rangers keeping the pressure on here. Yilmaz on the underlaps. A little chip ball. Atkinson gets a touch onto it. Kent is to get the head onto it. Neuenhoff comes across and boots it clear. Doddsy
Make that 2-0, and it's simple. Just a attempted clearance. It's knocked to the back post, but Michael Garrity for Morton just volleys a thing right in the top corner. It's Morton 2, Airdrie 0.
What a start that is for Dougie Imrie's side. And they are continuing this wonderful run of form that they're on. They're yet to beat Airdrie this season. Well, they're 2-0 up now as that comes through to Cortez. It's won by Kent. Hearts are hanging on a bit here, though. Desser's trying to hold off the defender and turn it back to a teammate, but he can only turn it to Beningame, who clears. Vargas will give chase. Goldson goes out to try and get onto it, but he's going to let it go out for the throw. and he bowls it infield to Diamande. 11 in here, Rangers 1, Hearts 0. The only goal in the Premiership so far. 5 of the 6 matches taking place today in that game at Fir Park tomorrow. Yilmaz with a cross into the Hearts box, aimed for Dessers, headed away by Kingsley. Really important header. Dessers was behind him. Stephen Naismith looking particularly uncomfortable down there, hands in pockets, returning to his dugout as Rangers pick up the throw-in level with the edge of the D of the Hearts box.
That's an onslaught just now. There's wave after wave of attack, whether it be Yilmaz one side, Tavernier the other. They're throwing crosses into the box.
And Lawrence with a header into the penalty area is sliced away from Kingsley up into the air. It goes, drops down towards Shankland, who's battling for it with Lundstrom. It's Lundstrom who comes out on top, finds Diamande into the chest, though only of Atkinson. The referee blows the whistle. It's an offside over on that far side, and it remains Rangers 1, Hearts 0. As I say, the only game in the Premiership that has a goal in the Championship. Ayr United 1, Raith Rovers 1, and Morton 2. Airdrieonians 0. No goals in League 1. Remember, there's a late kick-off in that one live in BBC Alapa. That's Queen of the South against Montrose. There has been a goal in one of the 3 o'clock kick-offs in League 2. And Peterhead, you are going along very nicely. Kieran Shanks has given them the lead against Elgin City. That for second place. Peterhead win a piece between those two this season. Peterhead won 6-0 the last time Elgin were at Balmuir. Peterhead have drawn their last 3 games, 2 clear of Spartans. That's a good start for them. 1-0 up against Elgin in League 2. And Balmuir. Here is Grant for Hearts. Rangers have a man down. I think it's Sterling this time. The referee's going to have to stop play to allow attention to Dujon Sterling this time. As Kenny was talking about earlier on, he's had lots of different roles in this Rangers team and is managing to break his way into it. And he's back on his feet, he's limping.
Yeah, it's a strange one. The referee stops the game for a leg injury.
Yeah, I think the Hearts players weren't too happy with Stephen Naismith as well, was asking why the game was getting stopped. It was a coming together for 2 Rangers players, actually, Sterling and Dessers.
Yeah, I mean, you tend to leave it down to the player's sporting discretion when it's not a head knock, don't you? Unless it's an extremely serious injury, but Sterling's okay.
That wasn't. No, it's fine. He's right back up on his feet.
Rangers have it. Here's Lawrence in a pocket of space, the outside of the boot, flicking it to the right of the D. It's cut out. He's looking for Sterling. Beningame wins it back off Lawrence, and Frankie Kent picks up and slips it side foot, left foot out to Kenneth Vargas on the far side. Runs into trouble in the shape of Goldson, but he's emerged with it. Now he's driving into the centre circle, shows too much to Lundstrom. Bounces off the Rangers midfielder for Beningame. He finds Rolls out to the left-hand side for George Grant. On the overlaps Cochrane, his attempted ball comes to the 18-yard line. Shankland heads it into the box, away by Suter. Only as far as Vargas. Now it's back with Shankland. Short ball to Atkinson, then to the overlapping Kingsley. More than comfortable in the wide areas in an attacking sense is Kingsley. He's found Atkinson. Now Shankland, low ball across, cleared by Tavernier. Hearts' best attacking move of the game. He played 14. Rangers 1-0 up, and Dessers' his bunt rolls off it, and now he's driving forward. Lawrence in support. He's up to the edge of the box now. He's into it. Dessers chops back onto the left. It's saved by Clark and cleared by Kai Rolls, out for a Rangers throw-in over on the far side, level with the penalty spot. Hearts have to hope that this storm passes without any further damage.
It's just dreadful defending by Kai Rolls. How he gets pushed off the ball into the Rangers half. You know, he's got to be stronger. He's a centre half. Not as if Dessers is a big, powerful man there. It's really poor play.
He's not bad by it. Big and powerful, I must say.
No, he is, but
Lundstrom shoots.
Rolls should be winning that.
I was just
wide for the corner to Rangers.
And I think it was actually the best wee period that Hearts had. It's the first time they've actually found a Hearts player passing out of defence for Rolls into Vargas initially, then into Grant, and it looked like they were going to build an attack, but straight away on the counter, Rangers go up the other end. Dessers, he shows great strength initially to bounce Kai Rolls, and good ability to cut back onto his left foot. Good save is Ander Clark.
Get all the scores as they come in at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. There's not too much going on in the goal category at the moment across the country, and we'll remind you of the score lines on a regular basis. As Tavernier with the outswinging right-footed corner into the box beats everyone in blue, and it pins out to this near side for Yilmaz. A little bit short with the pass to Cortez. He's got it to him though. Cortez back to Lundstrom. Left-footed ball into the box wasn't really what he intended. Tap away. Tavernier shoots, and Clark saves. Brilliant hit by Tavernier, whose next goal will be his 20th, and that would be the most he's ever scored in a single season for Rangers. But the skipper couldn't really have caught that any better than he did. Good save by Clark. Corner.
It just shows the confidence that he's playing with at this moment, because when that comes across, that's not an easy technique to hit that first time as it's coming across the pitch. But like you say, couldn't have caught it any sweeter. Another good save from Xander Clark.
And another corner for Rangers, which will be taken by Ridvan Yilmaz on this left-hand side. Outswinger. It's actually drifted it out to Tavernier at the edge of the box. Tavernier controls in the chest, rolls it out to Lundstrom. He's under pressure from Cochrane, and Nieuwenhof is kept in play by John Lundstrom over on that far side. He's trying to hold off Cochrane. He's back facing his own goal, and he rolls it all the way back to Jack Butland. It is Rangers 1, Hearts 0 here. Goalless in the other Premiership matches at Easter Road Rugby Park, in Dingwall and in Paisley. 1-1 Ayr United, Raith Rovers in the Championship. Morton 2-0 up on Airdrieonians. No goals in the games, 4 of them kicking off at 3 in League One. Dumbarton still 2-1 up on Stranraer after an hour there in the early kick-off. Peterhead 1, Elgin City 0. But goalless in all the matches that I didn't mention there. Here on Sports Sound this afternoon, the Calcutta Cup Six Nations match between Scotland and England. The build-up continuing on BBC Radio Scotland Extra and 810 medium wave on digital. And it's the football all the way here on FM and on Sounds and online, as Goldson, under pressure from Shanklin, turns it back to Butland, the Rangers goalkeeper, looking for his 23rd clean sheet in his 42nd appearance of the season. Long ball forward to the edge of the Hearts box. Rolls gets an important header onto it. Kent's out-muscled by Sterling, who turns and shoots, and it's a comfortable take for Xander Clark. It was a little bit worrying from Frankie Kent's point of view there, the ease with which Dujon Sterling was able to hold him off and swivel and shoot. It stays Rangers 1, Hearts 0 on 17.5 at Ibrox.
Yeah, they need to be stronger, central defenders, the Hearts. Kent and Rose there, both being done off the ball.
And ball from Tavernier to Dessers is put out of play for a throw-in by Kent over on the far side. We have seen Aberdeen, Ross County and Ayr United come under the pump here at Ibrox recently. They've pretty much all escaped without conceding a second, but Yilmaz shoots, spilled by Clark. Dessers on the rebound, saved, and then on the rebound again it's saved, and Clark somehow gets away with it, though the flag has gone up over there, which would have spared his blushes in any case, but he didn't know that. The first one was completely unconvincing, and Cyril Dessers, it's one of those for him. He's had 2 bites at it, and he couldn't find the net, but as we were saying, the flag did go up.
Yeah, it was clear offside. It was again another strike from distance for Yilmaz. Rangers finding it too easy to get shots off for the round about the edge of the box. That's been Yilmaz. Diamandi had a couple as well, but that was another. It was straight down the throat of Xander Clark. He spills it to Dessers. Again, fortunately for Dessers, it was offside, a good couple of yards offside, so the right call.
Yeah, it was very similar to the Partick Thistle game last night. Dunfermline's first goal, the shot from distance through a crowd of players, keeper knocks it out, but you're right, he's offside. But, had 3 or 4 goes at it there, Kenny.
Yeah, he did. Again, I think he says his blushes were spared with the offside flag.
Rangers on the ball, right of the centre circle with John Lundstrom out to Cortez. His touch keeps it in, but only to the benefit of Nat Atkinson, who plays it infield to Nieuwenhof. Now Beningame under pressure from Lawrence. The referee didn't like the challenge, and that will be a free kick to Hearts, right of the centre circle. Ken, you've seen a lot of Rangers this season, and in recent weeks, in the games here at Ibrox, the ones I mentioned, Aberdeen, Ayr United in the Cup, Ross County here, they got an early goal, but didn't add to that until later in the games.
Yeah, they did, but they have been comfortable within those games as well, and the performances have been very, very good. They've maybe not taken the chances that they've created, which is something that Philippe Clement's talked about, but again, there has been a level of comfort within the games, and I'll say today, I really, really like the balance in the midfield for Rangers, with Lundstrom kind of at the base of it. You've got Lawrence, who's always kind of going to be the more attacking, but I think in Diamandi there's a player that can do both. His energy is outstanding, he gets forward. We've already seen how good he can score if at the edge of the box with either foot, so there's a real good balance in the engine room there for Rangers at this moment in time.
Still that Mohamed Diamandi goal here at Ibrox, the only one in the Premiership thus far this afternoon. Here's Ridvan Yilmaz picking up in the Hearts half, level with the edge of the centre circle and rolling it back to Lundstrom, back to Yilmaz, still in the Hearts half, rolls it forward to Cortez, under pressure from Atkinson, goes back to Suter, and John Suter out to Goldson, and then out to Tavernier on that right-hand side. It's a long ball. Sterling chasing. Was he off? He's still chasing after it. He's not going to be able to keep it in play anyway. It will remain Rangers 1, Hearts 0. Rangers looking to take their winning sequence into double figures. The first time they'll have managed 10 successive wins whilst in the top division since 02-03. That was a run that was stopped at Celtic Park in the March when John Hartson scored the only goal, though they'd go on to take revenge in the League Cup final the following weekend. But that just shows you that they're on to something here right now, and they didn't manage that even in the unbeaten season under Steven Gerrard. And they won that solitary title over the course of the Celtic period of dominance. The deadlock has been broken at Tannadice. Dundee United, of course, lost to Raith Rovers last time out. Up against Queen's Park, Willie Miller.
Yeah, against the run of play. It's the visitors that take the lead down the right-hand side. Good work down the right-hand side. Nice, intricate play. The strike came in. It was kind of a shot, but it was a tight angle shot. And Jack Walton spills it. And there he is, the striker, Rory Payton, to follow up and just tap it into the back of the net to give the visitors on the break that first goal. 1-0 for Queen's Park.
17th goal of the season for Rory Payton. Queen's Park haven't beaten Dundee United since October 1958. There's been a goal in Dingwall. What a huge game that is. We're going to get to that in just a moment. Tavernier shoots from 25 yards. It's over the bar. What a match that is at Victoria Park. And Ian Auld can tell us who scored the first goal.
It's gone for Ross County Lame. A massive goal at the wrong end of the table. A slip from Mo Sangari midway through his own half. Eamon Brophy latched onto it and beat Shamal George. 1-0 Ross County.
Well, Eamon Brophy's just got himself back into the matchday squads. He was out for a few months, but he could be such an important player for Don Cowie's men between now and the end of the season. 1-0 Ross County in the basement battle there in Dingwall, and now the goals are beginning to fly in across the country. It is Hearts who are 1-0 down to Rangers here at Ibrox in possession, with Rolls back to Kent and then back to Kai Rolls. We played a quarter of this one.
But the real chance here, Hearts. Cochrane was wide on the left and Shankland had peeled out onto Yilmaz. We've seen that before, but elected to turn back. Hearts getting a little bit more joy with a bit more possession.
It is Hearts with Atkinson on this near side, runs into trouble though, and that is easily defended in the end by Rangers, who are able to get it clear into the Hearts half. League leaders in League One, Falkirk, have taken the lead. Tom Lang has got the goal. The defender, and the Bairns are ahead at Kelty. That game in League One, they are surely heading back to the Championship. Here come Hearts. Atkinson into the penalty area, low ball. Shankland holding off a couple of defenders, looking for support. Back to Grant, then back to Shankland, drives for goal, blocked by Goldson. He was going well wide in any case as Rangers come away with it. That was better from Hearts. Have they managed to weather the storm? Well, we'll see, because here come Rangers again. Diamande driving forward to the edge of the box, looking for Dessers. It's cut out by Kent, and I think the Rangers supporters frustrated that Dessers didn't show more for the ball there. It's Tom Lawrence picking up the scraps in the midfield, rolling it infield for John Lundstrom, and out to James Tavernier over on that right hand side. Looks up, takes the touch, crosses in, headed away by Kai Rolls. Vargas giving chase, try to get onto it. Tavernier beats him through it. The referee didn't like it. Free kick was Hearts' way. 24 in. Rangers 1, Hearts 0 here at Ibrox. It's confirmation that Falkirk are 1-0 up at Kelty Hearts. Tom Lang with the goal.
Yeah, that was Hearts' best chance here in the game. Good play again for Lawrence Shankland at the heart of it, initially holding the ball up, playing a little 1-2 with George Grant, and then he gets a clean shot as goal. We were right behind it. He's just trying to get it arrow into the far corner of Jack Butland's net, and he just pulls it a little bit. Hearts' best chance of the game.
The 6th goal of the season for Lang, for Falkirk, who coming into this one were 14 clear at the top of the third tier. It's going to be a free kick to Rangers here. Let's get to Easter Road. Jim Duffy's watching Hibs Dundee.
Yeah, it's been quite a poor game so far. Neither goalkeeper's really been tested. Will Fish had a half chance from a second face from a corner straight at Carson, but other than that, the only thing of interest was Bakayoko getting booked for a horrendous dive at the halfway line. But other than that, 0-0 here and nothing much to shout about.
Is there anything to shout about at Rugby Park? Rory Loy watching Kilmarnock Aberdeen.
It's had its moments, Liam. Kilmarnock really should be in front. They've been by far and away the better side. Stuart Finlay had one cleared off the line by Graham Shinney, and Kyle Vassell really should have put his team 1-0 up when he hit the post. Neil Warnock's side hasn't really turned up so far, and he's spent the full half so far just complaining at Alan Muir down below us. But so far, Kelly the better side, still 0-0, Liam.
It won't surprise anyone as Grant slips it through, trying to get Vargas involved. It's cut out. Rangers coming away with it down the right with John Sterling. Desser's ahead of him. Finds the Rangers number 9. And then that's knocked back to Tavernier, midway inside Hearts territory.
I would say Hearts have had a couple of opportunities, Alan, to attack, but I'll tell you, every time they do and they turn it over.
Chance, Desser's header wide. What an opportunity it was. Flags up again though. 26 in, Rangers 1, Hearts 0. But again, even though it's offside, it's nervy moments for Stephen Naismith and the terrific away support that Hearts have brought along the M8 this afternoon. It remains 1-0 to the home team.
Yeah, and we're just saying, as soon as Hearts go to attack, they'll look a little bit vulnerable on the counter-attack when Rangers win it back. And again, that was a chance for Dessers. He was offside again. He's probably just half a yard offside this time, but he missed the target anyway. But there's warnings there for Hearts.
Let's find out how the All Saints are getting on in Paisley with Derek Ferguson. St Mirren, St Johnstone.
Yeah, no goal scored at the moment, but I've got to say pretty poor from both sides. Pretty tame affair considering, how much is at stake at the moment. But 3 shots and goal and target from St Mirren, but that's all, and very tame shots of that. So not a lot to report.
Yeah, 0-0 there. There's been another goal though in that Ross County Livingston match in Dingwall. Ian.
Yeah, another goal for Ross County, another goal for Eamon Brophy, and what a goal it was too. Simon Murray clipped into the edge of the 18-yard box and he lashed the ball beyond Shamal George. Ross County 2, Livingston 0.
You call some games 6-pointers. That is a 6-pointer. Eamon Brophy hadn't scored since October. He's got 2 now in a space of a couple of minutes. Clearance by Hearts. Kai rolls out to the near side. Yilmaz with a header. Nods it back to Suter. Hearts cannot get a feel of the ball.
I was talking about the start of the game, bringing Atkinson. I felt it was a good move. I need to change my mind. I think he's been dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
As I think even right for the off, he actually looked quite tired. He's not. I mean, he's fully pace and energy normally. He just looks like he is just off the boil today, Atkinson.
Well, it's the league leaders. You don't want to be off the boil here. Rangers down the right they come, out for a throw-in. Sliding challenge by Kai Rolls. So Ross County 2, Livingston 0. Rangers 1, Hearts 0. Here, goalless at Easter Road Rugby Park and in Paisley. It's Rangers with Lawrence on the right-hand side of the box for Sterling. Back to Tom Lawrence. Seems to have shrugged off all his injury problems. Back to Sterling. Flights the cross in. It's headed half away by Kent. Only as far as Yilmaz at the 18-yard line. Left of the D to the left-hand of the box here for Oscar Cortez. Taking on Atkinson. Plays it straight off Atkinson. And Kingsley can clear for Hearts. 28.5 on the clock. Rangers 1. Hearts 0 in the Championship. Ayr United 1. Raith Rovers 1. Dundee United 0. Queen's Park 1. That's a big scoreline. Raith Rovers though pegged back as they try and hunt United down after that fantastic win for them last week at Starks Park against the league leaders. Morton 2, Airdrieonians 0 at Capello. We're hearing from Billy earlier on. Cove Rangers have taken the lead against Annan in League 1. Not got a goal scorer for that one, but they've just taken the lead. Cove Rangers 1, Annan 0 as Rangers come forward. The brilliant ball in from Yilmaz, missed by everyone. Everyone left it. The defenders left it. The attackers couldn't get in the end of it, and it sails behind the other reverse right-hand side of the goal frame and behind for a goal kick to Hearts, and Rangers continue to lead 1-0.
It's like a stinger in golf. That it was a brilliant clip cross. What right into the right area. They're just unlucky, Rangers, that no one's coming in at the back post.
So Cove went in to make it 3 wins out of 3 against Annan this season. 1-0 up the Balmoral in that one in League 2. There's just about 15-16 minutes left. Dumbarton 2, Stranraer 1. Early kick-off. Spartans have scored a couple of quick goals. Henderson and Sonker against the local rivals Bonnyrigg Rose. So Spartans 2-0 up. They are in League 2. Of course, signed Mark McNulty in the week. Fantastic signing on the face of it. I'm sure he's still got plenty to offer, Kenny.
I'm sure he will. I mean, it's an incredible signing. I must have missed that through the week, but that is an incredible signing.
He could do some damage at that level, that's for sure. There's the plenty still to play for. Do Spartans. They've only won twice in their last 8. They did win at Stranraer last time out, and they're looking to try and get a run going, sitting third in League 2 just now, looking to put pressure on Peterhead. Of course, Stennismuir are way into the distance. And there's been, again, quick goals in the game at Ochilvie. Just talking about Stennismuir, they led through O'Reilly, but Clyde, I think I've scored a couple of quick goals. We get confirmation of that shortly, but the scoreline I have in front of me is Stennismuir 1, Clyde 2. And the bottom side leading the top. Get confirmation, as I say, of that shortly. The action continues here at Ibrox on Sportside, and it's Hearts actually in the Rangers half, and they've got a free kick in a decent position here. George Grant has his legs whipped from underneath him. Tavernier's complaining, but Hearts have a free kick here about level with the edge of the D of the Rangers box, and Alan Preston, they've got plenty in the side who are more than capable of putting this into a danger area where Shankland in particular will be looking to get on the end of it.
Yeah, and Rose has gone up as well. Frankie Kent's gone in there. Kingsley's up there as well, so there's a few in the box. The delivery has to be right. Imagine it would be Grant taking this, curling it in.
Yeah, well, with the two over it. Cochrane and Grant. Grant with the right foot. Looks as though he got the better angle. It's a low and it's really poor. It's away by Lawrence and out for a Hearts throw-in. Level with the Rangers 18 over on that Hearts left-hand side as they attack the goal to the right here.
The thing is, they're not going to get many chances, so when they do have a set play like that, the quality has to be better coming in the box.
Elgin City are level at Balmoor, 1 apiece. Peterhead 1, Elgin City 1 in League 2. In comes the ball from the left-hand side for Hearts, headed away by Goldson, only as far as Cochrane. Works the 1-2 with Grant, gets the cross in. There's a man down in maroon, and there's a couple of appeals. Stephen Naismith's got his arms outstretched, breaks to Beningme, the edge of the box. He goes down.
At the edge of the box.
Nick Walsh has a look at it, no free kicks been given. It doesn't look as though he's going to give one either, even though Hearts emerged with the ball. Wasn't really an advantage behind them, but here's Nieuwenhof to Beningme. Forward to Shanklin in the Rangers box, cleared by a combination of Yilmaz and Lawrence. And Hearts have it with Cochrane rolled out to Grant on that far side, to Beningme, to George Grant, who dinks it onto the chest of Nieuwenhof. This is better from the visitors. Mentioned Rangers have come off the gas in the last few home games by this point. So it's played low to the edge of the box, cleared by Suter and out for a throw into Hearts on this near side.
Yes, a poor pass from Atkinson. He's got to get it safe side of Lawrence Shanklin. Get the ball into his feet and he can make something happen, but he passes it and it's easy for John Suter to cut it out.
It is Hearts in possession here with Nieuwenhof. There's a penalty at Easter Road though. Jim Duffy, Hibs Dundee.
Yeah, I mean, it was a corner played into the box there. Trevor Carson came, no one near him. He could have just caught it comfortably, but he dropped it and then juggled it and then knocked it out again, then chased it out, barged into the Hibs player. Absolute stonewall penalty. A little bit of discussion between Marcondes and Venti to see who's taking it, but number 9 Venti is definitely going to take it.
We'll get back to you, Jim. There's been a goal in Paisley, St Mirren, St Johnston. Let's find out who it's for, Derek.
Yeah, Liam, and boy did we need a goal, and it's for the home side. It's Mandron hitting it from distance, took a wicked deflection, just peached the keeper down his right hand side. I think it might have come off the inside of the post, but this game it's been poor so far. We needed a goal. St Mirren in the lead. 9th
of the season for St Mirren top scorer Mikel Mandron. St Mirren 1, St Johnston 0. We'll get to Jim in a moment to find out how that Hibernian penalty has gone. Here's Shank for Hearts, getting it back from Atkinson, driving into the Rangers half. Right foot, chip ball to the left angle of the area for Vargas. He can't control it. It's now with Grant, level with the penalty spot. The underlapping Vargas fires it across, blocked by Goldson and cleared by Connor Goldson, and out for a throw-in on the far side. Jim Duffy watching on at Easter Road.
Yeah, it's 1-0 Hibs. Dylan Venti sent Trevor Carson the wrong way. Very good penalty. Yeah, a little debate who was going to take it, but he took responsibility and managed to get Hibs in front. Can't say they deserved it, probably slightly the better side, but Tony Docherty would be so disappointed at Trevor Carson giving away that penalty, but nevertheless it's 1-0 Hibernian.
He'd only one goal since September, Venta. As Hearts pick up, it's Atkinson, right hand side of the box, drives it across, cleared by Suter, and out of play for a throw-in. This has been a good little spell by the visitors, this approaching the final 10 minutes of the 45 here.
Much better. Last 2 or 3 minutes it's been Hearts in possession of the ball, passing it about well, getting into the wider areas, crosses in the box, and again you can see the diagonal they're looking for. Atkinson coming in on Yilmaz. He peels on because Yilmaz is not the biggest.
Stirling Albion have gone in front in League One against Edinburgh City, the strugglers. That points deduction at the bottom of the table. Edinburgh City sitting with just 5 points, and Stirling Albion looking to continue the troubles for the capital side there. 8th place Stirling Albion. That could be a huge goal. Let's go back to Tannadice, because I think there's been a huge goal there, Willie Miller.
A quite magnificent goal, Liam, here at Tannadice. It was Louis Moult, a free kick outside the box, 22 yards. Wilson brought down Watt, and Louis Moult, right foot, curled it right into the top corner. Fabulous goal for the equaliser.
Well, there you go, Louis Moult, top scorer at Dundee United. And Kai Fotheringham have been the go-to men for them. Here come Rangers in the Premiership with Lawrence. Low ball to the edge of the box, breaks to Cortez. Goal! Side foot, right foot finish from Oscar Cortez. It's a fantastic finish as well for his first Rangers goal. And just as the home supporters were beginning to get a little bit tetchy that Hearts were coming back into this, it is Rangers 2, Heart of Midlothian 0, and that's a massive goal for Cortez as the league leaders look to stretch their points differential at the top from the champions.
Yeah, it's a wonderful finish, but great work initially from Sterling just to release Tom Lawrence. And when he was moving forward, just wondering, could he see Cortez on the other side of the pitch? And he absolutely could. He just cuts it back along the edge of the box, perfectly weighted. Oscar Cortez comes on, side foot of the right, side inside of the right foot, first time finish, into the same corner as Diomande. 2-0 Rangers, another wonderful finish, and a first goal for Oscar Cortez in the Rangers jersey.
And again, it's poor defending from Hearts. Kai Rose gets turned easy, too easy. When you touch a player, Lawrence, like him, don't get too tight. Lawrence uses his body and goes round them, and Rangers are on the attack, and it's a 3 versus 2, and an overload on the left-hand side. It's a wonderful finish from him, but Hearts, again, it's their own downfall. Don't defend properly against better teams, you get punished.
Well, 8 wins in a row for Hearts coming into this one. In a tall order now, the tallest of orders to prolong that run beyond 8. They're currently sitting on comfortably in 3rd. Well, Stephen Naismith will have wanted to come here and make a big statement, because they've been making statements all over the shop recently, but they trail 2-0, and it's the 2 January arrivals, Diomande and Cortez, who've made the difference this afternoon in the Glasgow sunshine. And as Goldson picks up and squares it to John Souttar. So Rangers 2, Hearts 0 here. Ross County 2, Livingston 0 in Dingwall. St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 0 in Paisley. And Hibernian 1, Dundee 0 in the capital. Just that game at Rugby Park goalless in the Premiership. Here's Yilmaz with the ball in, and it almost came to Sterling at the back post. Couldn't get anything onto it. And it's out of play for a goal kick. Rangers 2, Hearts 0. And this, to be fair, Hearts had that little flurry just before the second goal, but this is as good as Rangers have been this season.
That last passage of play is everything this Philippe Clement's team's at this moment in time. Their energy, their movement, the movement for Cortez, Diomande, Lawrence, it releases Yilmaz, and they just put the ball in. They've got Sterling in there, they've got Dessers, and again they're just unlucky. They just don't get on the end of at the back post for Dujon Sterling. But the play between Lawrence and Cortez is outstanding.
Do you know what? The people talking about the importance of Shankland to Hearts, Miovski to Aberdeen. Every team is reliant on their top scorer. Louis Moult scoring for Dundee United today. Tony Wallace for Dumbarton. Roman Burrell got that Cove Rangers goal. They lead Annan 1-0. He's their top goal scorer. It's just the way it goes. You've got a striker in the team who you rely on for goals. That's what they're there to do. It's their job. Top scorers scoring across the country.
Liam, I think as far as Hearts are concerned, they've been rightly so getting the plaudits in recent months, but defensively today, the centre halves have looked really, really uncomfortable. I think it's more to do with Rangers' movement, them jumping off into holes and runners coming from midfield which they can't track. But even when they're in possession, they've looked very, very nervous.
Forfar Athletic have taken the lead at East Fife in League 2. It's Allen who scored that one, so East Fife 0, Forfar 1 in the bottom tier. There's a little flick from Nieuwenhof to Beningby. Hearts need the next goal. There's Grant from distance, and he fires it over the bar. From 25 yards out, swerving over the goal frame. Final 5 of the opening 45. Rangers 2, Hearts 0.
Yeah, and he had more time than he actually realised there. He's tried to turn and hit that. He's tried to shoot on the turn there, Grant, but if he could have allowed that across, settled himself a little bit more and took his time getting the shot away, but he's just rushed it.
Rangers have it with Yilmaz bursting forwards. A good change of pace up to the edge of the Hearts box. He goes Beningame with the challenge. He emerges with the ball. There's Nieuwenhof to Grant, who flicks it out to Atkinson on this near side up the line for Vargas. And his jersey pulled by Suter, and as Alan says, it's an automatic yellow card, and Rangers can moan all about that. Philippe Clement saying that's his first foul, but it was a professional foul. Exactly. The rule book is that is a caution.
I know I say it's his first foul, and I get that, but it's cynical. It's a yellow card all day long.
Yeah, you can have no complaints there. If Vargas just turned up and he pulls his shirt back again to the letter, well, that's a booking, and rightly so.
Right, Rangers 2, Hearts 0, Hibs 1, Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 0, Aberdeen 0, Ross County 2, Livingston 0, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 0. In the Championship, goalless Arbroath, Cally Thistle, Ayr 1, Wraith 1, Dundee United 1, Queen's Park 1, Morton 2, Airdrieonians 0. In League 1, Cove 1, Annan 0, goalless Hamilton Alloa, Kelty 0, Falkirk 1, and Stirling Albion 1, Edinburgh City 0. League 2 coming in a moment. Here come Hearts, free kick to the edge of the box, breaks the Shanklin, the whistle goes as he shoots wide in any case, and it stays here. Rangers 2, Hearts 0. League 2, final few minutes at the Rock, Dumbarton 2, Stranraer 1. That 2 o'clock kickoff heading to half time in the other matches across the country. It's East 5-0, Forfar 1, as I just said. Peterhead 1, Elgin 1, Spartans 2, Bonnyrigg 0. And an incredible scoreline. Ian McCall's Clyde 2-1 up at Ochilview against the runaway league leaders, Stenhousemuir. And they've come from behind to do so, showing men's character to do that. Scullion and Allen cancelling out that O'Reilly opener for Steny, who were on that club record winning run not so long ago. That's going to be a foul by Yilmaz on Atkinson, right of the centre circle for Hearts. You're up to date here on Sportsound. The half-time whistles will be going across the vast majority of those matches, save for the one in Dumbarton. Final 2.5 odd minutes of the 45 here at Ibrox. Rangers comfortable, 2-0 up. Diamande and Cortez with the goals. Can Hearts, though, Alan, find something to cling on to before the break here?
Well, it's a long way back, Liam, but they need to get the next goal in this game. You know, the way Rangers are playing, you can see them scoring more. I mean, Hearts had a good spell there at 1-0, 1-0 down. Nice spell of possession, little couple of half chances, shot for Grant, and then Rangers go and score the second goal. Very, very difficult.
Black and Hamill were the goal scorers the last time Hearts won a top flight game here. They did win on the opening day of the Championship season in 2014. Osman Sow scored the winning goal on that occasion. As Cochrane takes the free kick, it's headed in towards the box. Kent with the up and under. Cortez gets his head onto it, and it breaks the way of Diamande. It's a long ball forward up towards Dessers, who's trying to battle with the defender Atkinson. He was too strong for him there. It's Dessers infield to Lawrence. Lawrence then back the way to Tavernier and infield to Lundstrom. Rangers looking for another before the interval here. There has been another goal elsewhere. I missed just where it was. In fact, it's at Tannadice in the Championship, that Dundee United Queen's Park game. Queen's led, United equalise. We'll get to it in a moment. There's a cross for Dessers, shoots and finds the bottom left corner, and the flag stays down. Cyril Dessers celebrates Rangers' third goal of the afternoon. Then the league leaders are blowing away the third force here at Ibrox. Rangers 3, Heart of Midlothian 0.
And again, I'm just looking here because it did look like a shady offside, but it's an incredible pass by John Shooter if it isn't. He just whips this in early, and Dessers is the one who's on the move. He's just off the shoulder here. You just seen it now. Oh, he's offside, is he? Is it tight?
Very tight.
I think
Right, I tell you what, we'll talk about this in a moment. We'll talk about this because there'll be the VAR check. Tannadice, Willie Miller, a turnaround.
Yeah, the home side take the lead just before half-time. Jordan Tilson that gets the final touch on it. Header is a corner from the left-hand side, headed back across the face of the goal. Tony Watt, kind of a miss, hits it into the ground. It bounces up. And there's Jordan Tilson from close range to nod it in to make that turnaround. Dundee United 2, Queen's Park 1.
Well, 3-0 as it stands, but they're checking the possible offside. Kenny and Allen have had a chance to see another couple of replays.
We've only seen one of it, and it does look tight. It looks tight. It's going to be on the. It's going to be on the lead.
It's been given. It's been given, and Rangers lead by 3 just before the break, and any hopes, Alan, that Hearts had of mounting a comeback in this game have surely been extinguished by Cyril Desser's 15th Rangers goal.
Well, it's now damage limitation for Hearts, keep the scoreline down. You know, it's very, very difficult, but the other thing is as well, Liam, as I said, that the defenders have been excellent this season. They're just having an off day.
Right, let's go at Somerset. Another goal there in the match between Ayr United and Raith Rovers. Last we heard, one apiece. Chick Young.
And it's now 2-1 to Raith Rovers. It's really hot at the top of this championship race. The half-time whistle is just gone, but just before that, it was Lewis Vaughan with the cutest of little dinks over the goalkeeper Josh Clark. Ayr had battered their way back into this game, but at half-time, it's 2-1 to Raith Rovers.
Half-time whistles beginning to go across the country, including in Paisley, where it's St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 0. St Mirren looking to react to that surprise defeat at Livingston last week. It's half-time in the championship match at Capello Morton, 2-0 up against Airdrieonians as Tavernier picks up and rolls it back to Lundstrom. And that's the half-time whistle gone at Tannadice as well. So Dundee United 2-1 up in Queen's Park. Here come Rangers again. Tavernier with the ball across. Cortes almost got onto it, headed away. Impressive defending there by Kingsley. But in 2 minutes of stoppage time here, and the half-time whistle can't come soon enough for the Hearts supporters right now. They'd probably not be too distressed if it was the full-time whistle, in all truth.
Rangers have been absolutely sensational in this half, and let me tell you, it's 3 goals of the highest quality. Going back onto Dessers, it's an incredible ball into John Suter, but he just gets the side of his right foot on it and directs a volley just into, so nonchalant into the corner past Randall Clark.
It's been a goal at Rugby Park, Rory Loy.
It's indeed, Liam, and the only surprise is it's taken this long for Kilmarnock to break the deadlock. They've had plenty of chances. It was a short corner, played to Danny Armstrong, he swung it in. Corey and Daba across the front post, flicked it into the back of the net. Very deservedly, I must say, Kilmarnock lead 1-0.
I tell you what, Lawrence Shankham was booked last week for nothing.
So he's just been yellow carded here.
He's done the same again.
Just describe it for us.
He gets the ball. He goes into the challenge and he gets the ball.
So Kilmarnock 1-0 up against Aberdeen. Aberdeen lose that, they can probably forget catching Killie in 4th, and it will be a struggle for them to get into the top 6. A dreadful league season for Aberdeen. For Kilmarnock, quite the opposite. The irony being it's Derek McInnes twisting the knife. And of course meeting the cup in a couple of weekends' time. Rangers free kick, Yilmaz into the box, is headed away. And Nick Walsh sounds the half-time whistle, but listen to the Rangers supporters here. Been treated to one of, if not their best performance so far in the league this season. 3 goals, as Kenny was saying, of the highest quality as well. Diamandi scoring just into the 2nd minute of the game from outside the box, as he did at St Johnstone last Sunday. Cortes adding the 2nd just after Hearts' best period in a first half to forget for them, that coming on 37. And then Dessers steering home his 15th goal of the season. This is his 38th appearance, as he met it first time to put it into the left-hand corner of the net from the right-hand side of the 6-yard box. He was just onside after the VAR check. Hearts staring at their first defeat in 2024. Rangers are looking at a 10th successive victory and a 5-point lead at the top of the SPFL Premiership this evening. Half-time roundup from across the country to come here on Sports Sound. From here at Ibrox at the interval, it is Rangers 3, 3rd place Heart of Midlothian 0.
Football from Sports Sound.
Brilliant drop of the shoulder.
From BBC Radio Scotland.
There's no substitute.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland. My goodness, the first halves have delivered across the country. We'll get the reports for you. I'll give you a full rundown of all the scores, including the big games down in England. Michael Stewart is alongside me in the studio. Michael, that has been some first half performance from Rangers. We'd have to say aided in large part with some of the Hearts defending.
Yes, I mean, look, there's a blistering start from Rangers, but yeah, you're right. I think some of the Hearts defending has been pretty poor, and it's allowed rampant Rangers to get their noses in front early on, and they've really not let up at all. Diamandi with another really good goal. But I mean, look, I said this before the game, Atkinson for me is not good enough, full stop. Whether he's defending, attacking, it doesn't matter. And the first goal comes directly for him driving into the middle of the park, not having a clue what he's meant to be doing, getting an easy turnover for Rangers, and then the ball goes out to the left. Cortez cuts in, slips it into Diomande, and he scores a fantastic finish. Middle of the park, Hearts, no good enough either. Too weak. Grant, Neuenhoff, just these are decisions that obviously have been working for Hearts in the last few weeks, but Cammy Devlin's back on the bench. I think him and Beningame, their partnership was very effective before. I'd like to see the two of them getting game time again, but obviously not for today.
Yeah, and we were on a wee chat there when the guys were doing the commentary. It'd be interesting to hear what Stephen Naismith has to say about his team selection. There are obviously questions we can put to him on the full-time whistle. All the reaction to come on Sports, and we're with you right through until 7 o'clock. Fan reaction tonight, my goodness, it's going to be interesting as some of these score lines remain as they are. Big game. We pointed that out before kick-off today at Easter Road. Hibs against Dundee. Let's get the half-time report from Jim Duffy.
Yeah, I mean, half-time here at Hibernian 1, Dundee 0, and a thoroughly deserved 1-0 advantage for Hibernian. In the first 30 minutes, Kenny was really quite poor. Both teams just cancelling each other out. Hardly really an effort at goal. Then in 30 minutes, Will Fish had a free header, probably should have scored, and that's where all Dundee's problems came from. The corners, they just couldn't deal with them, you know. And then in 34 minutes, a corner came in, probably the easiest corner of the day. Trevor Carson comes, no one near him, you know. See it tonight, he just should have just grasped it, but for whatever reason, I think it was that easy. He lost concentration, let it slip from his grasp, then tried a bit of juggling, knocked it away again, chased it towards the edge of the box, clattered into the Hibs player, gave away a penalty, and Dylan Vente came up and just sent the goalkeeper the wrong way. Very good, comfortable penalty and giving Hibs that advantage. Just after that, Hibs took full control of the game, and then in the 38 minutes, Trevor Carson, the life of a goalkeeper, had two great saves really within the space of about 30 seconds. The first one again from Vente, again an effort from him, again coming from a corner, and then Maolida had a fantastic effort coming in from the inside left position, and Carson down to his left hand side, a fantastic save to keep Dundee in the game. But since I've scored, it's been all Hibernians. Dundee haven't had one single effort at goal, been really disappointing in the first half. I think Tony Docherty will need to shake his team up, but from Montgomery's position, he'll be delighted, but probably a wee bit disappointed they haven't capitalised in their general pressure. Half time here, Hibs 1, Dundee 0.
Yeah, bang on from Jim Duffy. You just feel that he really needs a win today, Nick Montgomery. It's not been good enough so far, you would have to say. No wins in the league since the turn of the year. Let's then get to another big game. It's at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock against Aberdeen there for us, Rory Loy.
Yes, Ken, it's 1-0 to Kilmarnock at half time, and Aberdeen can count themselves lucky that it's only one. Vassell, Watkins, Finlay and Armstrong all guilty of missing good chances in that half. Jensen and Garterman at centre back, all over the place at times, trying to play against Watkins and Vassell, and it was Vassell after 3 minutes who hit the post with a half volley, which he should have done better with. And Polworth found Joe Wright with a cross, who headed just over 6 minutes into the match. 13 minutes in, and Aberdeen did have their first and only opening of the half when a good jinking run by McGrath. The ball found its way to Polvara, but his shot was straight at Dennis and easily held. Straight up the other end, and Armstrong had missed a half volley again. It was held by Roos. There was a little dip in play 15-16 minutes when Jensen and Nicky Devlin both went down with injuries, so it took another 10-15 minutes after that for Kilmarnock to get going again, and Stuart Finlay had a header cleared off the line by Jamie McGrath, and Watkins should have scored after half an hour when his shot was held by Roos. He should have done a lot better from the opportunity. You would have expected him to do a lot better as well. Then on 46 minutes, Corey Ndaba headed in an Armstrong delivery, and it was 1-0 to the home side. Shortly after, Neil Warnock was booked. He was remonstrating the full half, Kenny. You know, he speaks about his team being bullied. His team have been bullied in that first half, but any opportunity they have got the ball down, they haven't been very good, and Kilmarnock deservedly 1-0 at the break. It's Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 0.
Yeah, thanks to Rory. So Kilmarnock flying high this season. The big games just keep on coming on Sports Sound. At the other end of the table, Ross County at home to Livingston. Let's get the half-time report from Ian Auld.
Half-time here in Dingwall, Kenny, with the home team lead in the battle at the bottom, all thanks to two strikes from Eamon Brophy. The county hitman pounced on a slip from Mo Sangha Sangari midway through the Livy half and slotted the ball beyond Shamal George on 21 minutes. Brophy scored his and Ross County's second 6 minutes later when Simon Murray clipped in a cross from the left-hand side. Brophy slammed the ball past George from inside the penalty box. Livy's best chance came courtesy of Sangari when his 25 yards drive was turned over the crossbar by George Wickens. The Staggies, though, have been dominant in this one, and in the driving seat at the interval, it's Ross County 2, Livingston 0.
That could be a massive 3 points for Don Cowie's side there. Let's get to Paisley, the battle of the Saints. St Mirren up against St Johnstone. Here from Derek Ferguson.
I don't know about a battle, Kenny, but at the moment it's St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 0. And Kenny, the reason I'm saying that, so much at stake in this game, but it's been pretty timid to say the least, and that was up until the 36 minutes. St Mirren's Michael Mandron picking the ball up 30 yards out, I should say, striding forward and firing a left foot shot. It took a slight deflection en route to goal, but beating Meathoff down at his right hand post to sneak into the net. An own goal, some are saying, but I'm crediting Mandron with the strike, and boy did we need that goal. In the first half, I've got to say, Kenny, it's lacked in quality and excitement for long periods. That's how we stand at the moment. St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 0.
Thanks to Derek Ferguson. Let's then get into the championship. Let's get first stop Capello and hear from Billy Dodge. Billy, you're watching Morton against Airdrie.
Yeah, I'm Kenny. So one-sided and so straightforward for Morton. It all started in 9 minutes when Katongo bust down the left, his cross into the back, into the area of the back post, and Oakley was there to head home. 2 minutes later, it was 2-0. It was just a long ball into the box. It was a looping header from an Airdrie clearance that fell to the back area, and Garrity met it sweet on the volley. Airdrie have been so disappointed. It took them until 40 minutes just to test goalkeeper Mullen, who they had a routine save, 25 yards out, straight at him. That was it from Airdrie so far. They'll be wanting much better in the second half. Half time at Capello, it's Morton marching on to what looks like 15 unbeaten 2, Airdrie 0.
Yeah, terrific run for Dougie Emery's side. Thanks to Billy Dodds. Next stop Tannadice. Willie Miller is there for us watching Dundee United against Queen's Park.
Yeah, Kenny, it's 2-1 for the home side at half time. The early part of the game, there was nothing much happening. I thought the home side was very slow in the build up. They were a bit predictable, and Queen's Park were well organised and defended well, and it was the visitors that took the lead on 23 minutes. Good work down the left hand side. That was a tight angled shot. Walton goes down. He should have done much better. He spilt it, and there was Payton following up just to simply side foot it into the back of the net. The United have been the better side, there's no doubt about that, and they eventually came to life, and it was a touch of magnificent set play from Louis Moult. Free kick just outside the box. Wilson brings down Watt. It's towards the middle. The right foot of Moult was magical. It was a wand as he curled it into the top corner to get United back into this game. Then just before half time, corner from the left hand side, it's played to the back post, headed back across the face of the goal. Tony Watt mishits it into the ground. It bounces off the surface, and there's Jordan Tilson on the end of it to nod it home from close range to give United that lead at half time. 2-1 to them.
Very, very important that they protect that lead at Tannadice, given what's happening at Somerset Park. Chick Young.
Yeah, well, as we stand, Kenny, both Raith Rovers and Dundee United continue to thunder towards the finishing line in this promotion race, because like United, it's Raith Rovers who are 2-1 ahead here at Somerset Park at half time. They scored a fabulous goal, did Raith, just after 5 minutes. What a finish from Rudden. It was a crosser from Josh Mullen, laid it on a plate. You can see Rudden's run, and he's tapped it over the line to put them ahead. They also hit the crossbar with a tremendous effort from Easton, but it was Silla who equalised for Ayr United. Who scrambled in the box, actually, bit of head tennis, and he actually toe-poked over the line, Roy Silla, to make it one each. But right on the stroke of half-time itself, Lewis Vaughan, the legend that is him at Kirkcaldy for Raith Rovers, Lewis Vaughan, it was a lovely finish down through the inside left channel, and a little dink over the goalkeeper to put 2-1 ahead. They've got a real grip of this game, a real grip in the promotion race alongside Dundee United, and it's going to be nervous at the top for the next 45 minutes at both grounds throughout the country. But at half time here, and I must say the glorious Somerset Park sunshine is Ayr United 1, Raith Rovers 2.
The Championship delivering yet again. So the half-time scores: Hibs 1, Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 1, Aberdeen 0, Rangers 3, Hearts 0, Ross County 2, Livingston 0, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 0. In the Championship this afternoon, some big games there as well. Arbroath 0, Inverness Caley-Thistleton. That's a big game at the bottom of the table. Ayr United 1, Raith Rovers 2, Dundee United 2, Queen's Park 1, Morton 2, Airdrie 0. Into League 1, Cove Rangers 1, Annan Athletic 0, Hamilton Accies 0, Alloa Athletic 0, Kelty Hearts 0, Falkirk 1. Falkirk romping that league. Kelty Hearts down to 10 men. Stirling Albion 1, Edinburgh City 0. It's a 5:30 start. Queen of the South at home to Montrose. And in League 2 this afternoon, a full time. It was an early kick-off. Dumbarton 2, Stranraer 1. Half-time, East Fife 0, Forfar 1, Peterhead 1, Elgin City 1, Spartans 2, Bonnyrigg Rose 0. And a real shock in the cards. It's top v bottom. Steny went ahead, but it's currently Stennismuir 1, Clyde 2. In England this afternoon, there was no lunchtime kick-off, so the 3 o'clock starts. Aston Villa 3, Nottingham Forest 1, Brighton 0, Everton 0, Crystal Palace 0, 10-man Burnley 0, Manchester United 0, Fulham 0. 5:30 start. Bournemouth at home to Manchester City. And what a game at 8 o'clock. Arsenal at home to Newcastle United. So all the reaction to come on Sports, and we'll get reaction from the managers just after 5 o'clock. 5:30 we've got fans of various clubs ready to engage. My goodness, they'll have plenty to say this evening. We've got music this evening chosen by former Celtic striker turned pundit Chris Sutton.
Not the best in Europe. We're looking to build the greatest golf course in the world.
This is the biggest thing since the oil and gas discoveries of the 70s and really make tourism part of our economy.
He could become a champion for Scotland. A golfing dream that became a nightmare for local people.
We had the rumour that Donald Trump was involved.
I want to get rid of that house. It's our property. We can do what we want. This is the story of a Scottish community versus Donald Trump.
How dare this man demand people's homes?
If your name's Donald Trump, you can do anything.
Trumped. Listen on BBC Sounds.
My goodness, the first halves have been cracking right across the country this afternoon. Just briefly, Michael, before we hand back to our commentary team at Ibrox, what would you say to Kenny and to Alan? What have you seen from the studio in here? You really worried early on about some of that Hearts defending.
Well, yeah, just what I was saying there at half-time as well. You know, I mentioned it before the game. I mean, Atkinson for me is just no good enough, plain and simple. And a lot of problems coming down that side for Hearts. And I see a change has been made. I'm not sure whether it's Atkinson going off. Because another thing for me is mentally he's weak. And I think he might have taken a knock there. But a lot of the times I just think he knows himself that he's not performing particularly well. Rangers are so rampant and so on top. And you guys will be able to get a sense of it there. That's a ground that... really has a feeling that things are going the way that they want it, and it's building up a head of steam that could be very, very difficult to curtail.
It's a good point, Kenny, is that we've been at a few games there recently. The atmosphere has been absolutely sensational in recent weeks.
It has, and I think today in particular, I mean, the players in the performance have made the fans that, you know, they got off to a great start, the perfect start when Diamandi opened the score, and there's just been no let-up. Hearts have had a couple of little periods where you thought, OK, they've got a little bit of possession, they're asking a few questions, but again, on counters, on any time Rangers attack, the Hearts backline's been all over the place. They've turned the ball over in the middle of the pitch a number of times as well and looked really, really open to transition. But like you say, for me, it was Aberdeen here a couple of weeks ago, 1-1 at half-time, but there was no tension, there was no nerves, there was no that usual kind of murmurings, kind of somebody giving the ball away or worrying that you're not going to get the result. There's a belief, there's a confidence surrounding this Philippe Clement team at the moment that they're going to get the job done, and it's only going to get stronger and stronger as long as the team's performing like this.
Well, I think you can hear the noise building there in the background. That'll be the Rangers team coming out. I see the Hearts team out nice and early there. So a busy afternoon of action, second half action to come, and all the reaction from 5:30 until 7 o'clock on Sports. And let's get back to our commentary match then from Ibrox. Rangers up against Hearts with Kenny Miller, Alan Preston and Liam McLeod.
Thank you, Kenny. We're doing things a little bit differently today with the rugby at Murrayfield, the Calcutta Cup, Scotland's third match in this year's Six Nations Championship. That's going to be live on BBC Radio Scotland, medium wave extra and on digital. The build-up has been underway for a while now, and that is going to be a huge afternoon for Gregor Townsend's men as they look to bounce back from the defeat to the French. Nick Walsh, the referee here at Ibrox, gets the second half underway. Rangers in cruise control now, 3-0 up and kicking off, left to right in the blue and white, Hearts in the maroon and white, as that's headed away from the edge of their own penalty area. Shankly getting onto it. Alan Forrest has come on for Kai Rolls. Hearts moving to a back four. Less pressing, though, than what's happened in Dingwall. Ian Auld.
There is a goal for Livingston, Liam. It's a first touch of the afternoon for Bruce Anderson, a real melee in the 6-yard box, and Bruce Anderson, just on as a second-half sub, slammed the ball beyond George Wickens. However, there is a VAR check ongoing at the moment, so we'll clear up that one in due course, but at the moment it stands at 2-1 to Ross County.
Well, Livy back in it, and that's exactly what David Martindale would have wanted after his half-time team talk. And as Ian says, we'll get confirmation that's gone in, but if it has, that's Bruce Anderson up to 7 for the season. Says it all about Livingston that he is their top goal scorer, and he's not been guaranteed a start every week. Rangers are up the pitch here, no changes for them at the start of the second half. Perfect conditions for the game. It's barely a breath of wind, blue skies above. The Covens stand over there bathed in the sunshine here in the late winter as Dujon Sterling tries to cross. He gets it into the Hearts box when it's met and cleared there by Stephen Kingsley, and out for a Rangers throw. We'll get Alan's thoughts on the change that Hearts have made at the start of the second half in a moment. Lundstrom goes back away into his own half for Suter. So Alan, Kai rolls off and Alan Forrest on.
Yeah, but I think Michael's touched on Atkinson, which I wholeheartedly agree with, but I think the other people in the defence, whether it be a 5 or it's a 4 now.
Here's Tavernier, low ball across, but Ningavy's in the way and Hearts get it clear. Rangers coming forward at pace. It's difficult to get the guys' opinions and things because of the speed with which Rangers are hitting Hearts at right now.
Yeah, they're playing at some pace, but you know, Hearts went to a 4 last week as well, just to try and they got into the game last week and won the game, but I think it's damage limitation, keep the scoreline down if they can nick a goal. But it's going to be a long 40 minutes for Hearts in the second half.
Livingston goal stands, by the way, 2-1 as Sterling swings a cross in, breaks to Dessers. Hearts in the way, Lawrence, and then Dessers again. And Rangers have their 4th goal early in the second half. He had 2 bites at it, did Cyril Dessers. But having recently got his first double for the club, he gets his 2nd of the afternoon, and it is early in the second period here. Rangers 4, Heart of Midlothian 0.
And again, it's from across. We've seen it early in the first half. They weren't scared to throw the ball in to left or right. And it's Sterling just whips it in, and it's actually it's just too high for Frankie Kent. And it drops to Dessers, who should maybe do better with the first opportunity, but it gets away from him. There's a bit of coming together between Lawrence as well. And then when it breaks for Dessers, he makes no mistake, smash it into the roof of the net past Ander Clark for a double. Alan says it might be a hinty handball. I'm not too sure about that. It's definitely close on both hands, I think, but it might actually catch him on the thigh as well. But listen, he makes no mistake when he gets the second opportunity, smashes it into the roof of Ander Clark's net.
We're just checking for that possible handball that Alan was talking about there. Do you still stand by that, having looked at a replay?
I think it's very close again. You know, he might have controlled it on his thighs, Kenny said, but his arms come together to try and control the ball. It's whether or not it hits them or not.
Clyde have scored a 3rd goal against the league leader Stennismere in League 2, 3-1. Early second half strike for the Bully in League 2. They've only won 3 games all season. Ibrox waiting to see if they can celebrate Dessers 2nd and Rangers 4th for a second time. Nick Walsh down there just waiting the VAR as Don Robertson will be poring over replays of that goal. The possible handball is the issue here.
It does look like he hits his hand, hits his thigh, and maybe bounces off it could actually hit both arms, to be honest.
I haven't been able to see the replays that come off his thigh first.
I don't know if Michael's been able to see it or not. I don't know.
Michael, you there, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a handball all day long. It's like at Tempton when the channels are filled in. It's a handball.
The goal's been given. Michael and Alan both thought that shouldn't have stood, but Don Robertson's seen the same replays as the guys have, and as Kenny has, and Dessers strike stands, so he scored early in the second, having scored late in the first. And Hearts, Kenny Miller, bang up against a rampant Rangers here.
Yeah, and listen, I think we said when the third went in its damage limitation, it definitely is that now. You know, there was no changes for Rangers at half-time. I think you'll see Philippe Clement go to his bench probably within this next 10 minutes or so. They're on easy street, they're coasting to 3 points, and again, a chance to save the legs of some of these players.
It's the goal difference for them as well, Kenny. It could come down
massive,
to that.
absolutely massive.
Season,
yep.
so. I don't get this. I don't get why Cochrane goes from one side of the pitch to another to take a free kick inside his own half. I just don't get it at all.
Well, the league as it stands, Rangers 5 clear. That's clearly going to happen tonight. Their goal difference now 6 better off than Celtic. They've now scored more than Celtic, albeit Celtic will have a game in hand tomorrow at Motherwell after this is done. Here come Hearts, free kick flighted into the Rangers box, breaks to Kings, leaks his head onto it, and then it's headed half away, stabbed for goal, but wide from Vargas. Round about the penalty spot, he caught it on his left foot, was well past, and it stays Rangers 4, Hearts 0. But this, I mean, the other game between the sides here at Ibrox was after Clement took over. And whilst he hit the ground running pretty quickly, they weren't hitting their straps the way they are right now. This is a very different game. Hearts led that one right up until the 90th minute. Tavernier penalty. They did have to survive a missed penalty opportunity at the end of the first half that day. Danilo won it late on. But Rangers are in a completely different place right now compared to that meeting. As Lawrence finds Sterling, right-hand side of the box, pulls it back, it's blocked and out and behind for a Rangers corner. They're not going to stop it for.
And they've got a chance today to send a real message out. You know, they went top of the table last week, Rangers. They're now playing against the next best team outside of the Old Firm, who are absolutely flying. And this has been an absolute battering from start to finish.
Yeah, this is the best the rest of Scottish football has to offer.
Well, if I'm
right
Stevie
now.
Naismith, I would sign off for 4 now and go home. Go along the M8 now.
And they've got the derby coming up, and then it's Celtic next week. 2 massive games at Tynecastle Park. As Tavernier's low corner comes back to Yilmaz, bends the ball in with the left foot, and it's flicked behind for the corner by Frankie Kent. And Rangers continuing the pressure. The Premiership as it stands, Hibs 1, Dundee 0. Hearts haven't lost since the 9th of December. Hibs haven't won a league game since the 9th of December. They're 1-0 up against Dundee. Kilmarnock 1-0 up in Aberdeen. 2-1 Ross County against Livingston, and St Mirren 1-0 up in St Johnstone. 4-0 Rangers here. We'll go through the other 3 tiers of the SPFL after this Rangers corner, which will be taken by Ridvan Yilmaz over on that left-hand side. Outswinger, Dessers with the header, but Dessers for a hat-trick, breaks to Lundstrom. Right-hand side of the box, fires it into the side net, and it stays Rangers 4, Hearts 0. In the Championship, Arbroath 0, Cali Thistle 0, Ayr United 1, Wraith Rovers 2, Dundee United 2, Queen's Park 1, and Morton 2, Airdrieonians 0. So as we were at half-time in those matches in League One, Cove Rangers 1, Annan Athletic 1. Annan have come back and equalised, and that is 1 apiece in that game in League One. Aki still 0-0 with Alloa, Kelty 0, Falkirk 1. It remains in Stirling Albion 1-0 up in Edinburgh City. Queen of the South Montrose live in BBC Alpha, 5:30 kickoff. League 2, Dumbarton 2, Stranraer 1's a full time. East Fife 0, Forfar 1, Peterhead 1, Elgin 1, Bonnyrigg have pulled one back against Spartans. It's 2-1, and Clyde have gone 4-1 up as Shanklin shoots for goal from the edge of the box. It's a comfortable take for the Rangers goalkeeper. Butland, 53.5-year, Rangers 4, Hearts 0. But Stenhousemuir 1, Clyde 4. Who had Clyde -2 in their coupon this afternoon? Not many, I wouldn't have thought.
You're a rich man.
Yeah. There's Oscar Cortez driving down the left-hand side, faced by Frankie Kent. Now level with the 18-yard line, going over the line though, and out for a Hearts throw-in over on that far side. I'm conscious this game's gone, so we will get updates, regular updates from the other matches throughout the second half here, where they are more in the melting pot. Just single goal leads for Hibs, for Kilmarnock, for Ross County and for St Mirren, so we will get to the guys around the grounds at a suitable moment, as regularly as we possibly can between now and full time, because Alan, Hearts well beaten already.
It's an all too familiar result against Rangers in recent years. I mean, the last game here they got beaten.
You're going back to Daniel Sendel, aren't you? Those back-to-back wins at Tynecastle in the Scottish Cup quarters.
And I think Hearts fans and they sold their allocation today, and they've turned up in their numbers expecting a better performance, but
plenty have gone now.
They've been absolutely hammered. It's a chance for Rangers to make changes, and I think Stephen Naismith has to now look at the game against Hibs on Wednesday as well. They're getting nothing from this game. Can they get some game time for the likes of Oda and people like that, give them an opportunity, because this one's gone, I'm afraid.
Those Rangers are going to be making the changes. Fabio Silva, Ross McCausland are both down on the touchline. Kenny, Cyril Dessers will be furious here because he's about to be hooked, I think. We'll get to that in a moment, because there's been another goal at Easter Road. Have Hibs gone 2 up or are Dundee level? Jim Duffy knows both clubs so well.
Yeah, Hibernian have went 2-0 up. It's a fantastic goal, simple goal. I mean, giving away a free kick. Everyone thought we were going to load the box. They played it wide to Boyle. Boyle took a touch at his foot, whipped in a great cross, and I think it was McConnell, I'm not 100% sure, gets in, but all the Dundee defenders just statuesque in the middle of the 6-yard box, comes in, side push into the net. No matter who scored it, it's still going to be 2-0 Hibs. There is a VAR check, of course. We're waiting on the VAR check.
Double change then for Rangers. Desser stays on, Kenny. I was just thinking he was going to be hooked for Silva, so that when he scored the double against Ross County, he did take him off on that occasion, but perhaps he wants to keep him on this time in the hope he gets his treble.
Well, I think you'll see him on till he's got 80 minutes to get that, and I think the manager had alluded to Fabio Silva coming on and maybe playing in a different position just off the striker, and he also kind of spoke about Kamar Ruth maybe getting 10 or 15 minutes maximum, so I would say he's going to have 25 minutes, 20 minutes to get his hat-trick, but no surprise to see changes made. Tom Lawrence going off, saving his legs. It's been another impressive performance.
Sterling off for McCausland as well. Here from Rangers, it's Yilmaz. He's at the edge of the box and he shoots wide of the left-hand post. That'll be a goal kick to Hearts. And Rangers beat Ross County here. They registered 43 shots at goal and 23 of them were on target.
It feels like that again today for me sitting here. It's been a procession, to be honest. Hearts have played their part in their own downfall as well, but you've got to give the Rangers all the credit. They've been excellent.
Yeah, well, that was the second shot off target. They've had 8 on target so far. It's not been relentless that way, but it's just been wave after wave of attack, and they lead 4-0 here, Rangers, as they look to open up some daylight at the top of the table. As we're hearing from Jim, Hibs have gone 2-0 up against Dundee. Dundee have only won that fixture once in the last 16 meetings, so not a surprise at all. In fact, that second Hibs goal has been disallowed by all accounts. Dylan Venta thought he'd a double, but it's been disallowed. Let's go to Rugby Park. There's been a goal in the game between Kilmarnock and Aberdeen. Rory Loy.
Yes, it's 2-0 to Kilmarnock, and again deservedly slow. Really poor defending by Aberdeen. A number of players diving in, don't get the ball. The ball breaks to Kyle Vassell. He fakes to shoot, rolls it to Matty Kennedy. He slides it into the back of the net, and he lets the away fans, who are now leaving, know all about it.
Here's Tavernier across the face of goal, and he almost found Dessers for his hat-trick. He's just millimetres away from making the contact, but it's Hearts who are able to get it clear. And as you're hearing from Rory Loy there, Matty Kennedy, who was part of the Aberdeen squad that finished third last season, sealing surely the win for Kilmarnock. 2-0 up against Aberdeen.
Somebody check on Willie Miller, please. Can somebody check on Willie, make sure he's all right?
Oh, Willie's at Tannadice. He's well away from it this afternoon, getting a break. Now, what's been an awful season, you consider the amount of money spent on the Aberdeen squad. To be sitting where they are is pretty shameful. Ross County 2-1 up on Livingston right now. Will Aberdeen get dragged in? Well, 5 points currently as it stands, the difference between Ross County in 11th and Aberdeen in 8th. So we'll wait and see if Neil Warnock can get some kind of life in Aberdeen. It's all about the cup for them now, unless they get sucked in. Surely not. Here's Silva at the edge of the box for Dessers on the turn. His effort's blocked. Kent gets in the road, finds Benny Beningame, and Hearts desperately just trying to get a bit of breathing space here. That's slipped by Beningame to Forrest. That's brilliant from Beningame, and Alan Forrest charging forward into the Rangers box. He goes up against Goldson, who's trying to cover, and covers him well and slides in and puts it behind for the corner. Rangers 4, Hearts 0, just before the hour mark.
A really good play by Beningame, finding Forrest, and he tries to be positive, Forrest, but Goldson, good defending, timed his tackle well. So 2-0. I've seen Forrest to cut inside and lash it with his right foot.
Yeah. I thought he was going to do that actually. Short corner to Grant, who he fires it high into the Broom Lawn stand, and it will be a goal kick to Rangers. So as we were hearing that second Hibs goal, Jim Duffy watching that game at Easter Road. Jim, Dylan Venta thought he'd scored his second, but it was ruled out.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's obviously a Marswell offside. As we say many times, it seemed to take an eternity for John Beaton to get the information relayed to him. But eventually, as I said, it was a cross from Boyle, great cross. He came in. He was one of those ones you look at it because all of the defenders are absolutely standing still. But it looks to me as if he's come on the blind side. But nevertheless, it's been disallowed and it's still 1-0 to Hibernian.
Well, Hibs will take that, given they haven't won a league game since beating Livingston on December the 9th. Hearts have a corner in front of their fans over on the far side. Those who are still here, played an hour. Your team 4-0 down. We'll get updates from Dingwall and Paisley in just a moment. In comes the corner. It's flicked on by Suter. Breaks to Shankland. His effort down into the grounds, easily cleared by Goldson. Picked up by Silva, who goes down. No free kick. Frankie Kent picks up the scraps and rolls it to Shankland. He hasn't really had an opportunity today. He's found Nieuwenhof at the edge of the box. Back to Shankland, slips it wide right for Grant. Low ball across, cleared by former Jambo Suter. And out for a throw-in on the far side to Rangers. That's going out for Hearts in the end. It's going to be a double change for them. Alan was talking about this a moment ago. He wanted to see some minutes in the legs of the likes of Tagama and Devlin, and both of those are coming on now. Beningame and Vargas, Alan, coming off.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. You know, that Beningame is such an important player for them at the moment. You know, getting him off, making sure he's okay. He had a little bit of cramp last week, I think it was, or a hamstring strain, one of the two. Thankfully he's okay, and taking him off, giving him a bit of rest. And I think also Vargas, you know, he works hard, works tirelessly, but Oda comes on and gives him a bit of energy, so it's just getting game time into the legs for some of these Hearts players now. That's all that they can take out of this game now.
Stirling Albion have gone 2-0 up against Edinburgh City in League One. Beano's 4 points clear of Annan going into that one in the playoff place. You know the troubles of bottom side Edinburgh City. Derek Ferguson's along the motorway from us watching St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 0. Derek, how's it going?
Yeah, St Mirren very much in control at the moment. Always a difficult one, you know, with that goal up, but St Johnstone, got to say, Liam, they're offering absolutely nothing whatsoever. Just made the change there at the moment, but they need to be better than this. So they're going to be dragged into that relegation zone, there's no doubt about that, but St Mirren in control at the moment.
Ian Ald's watching. Ross County 2, Livingston 1. That basement battle.
Ross County still leading by 2-1, although this one is going from end to end. Up the other end, at the jail end, Eamon Brophy almost got his hat-trick. An ambitious cross from the right-hand side, bounced off the crossbar of Shamal George. And then up the other end, George Wickens with a wonderful double stop to stop Tete Yengi, and then Jason Holt on the rebound. It's going end to end very nicely here, but still Ross County leading by 2-1.
That cup win for Livingston in Glasgow against Partick Thistle looked like it had reignited their season. Can they come back? Having beaten St Mirren last week in the league, as Nieuwenhof goes back into his own half for Cochrane. He's under pressure. He's gone back to Clark. Desser's chasing. Clark gets there, but he panically knocks it up high to this near side. Cochrane can't keep it in play, and out for a throw-in. No sooner have we got an update from Derek than there's been another goal in Paisley. Derek Ferguson.
Yeah, it looks like game, set and match for St Mirren. Mandron with his second from around the penalty spot. Ball just bobbles up on the volley, fires it home. As I says, I don't see St Johnstone coming back from this. St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 0.
By the way, 5 of the top 6 places look done. I mean, St Mirren, they're looking like going to win that one. Kilmarnock, St Mirren 38, Kilmarnock 40, Hearts 51, miles ahead in third. I mean, Dundee are the only team left to be shot at, really, if you're Hibs or Aberdeen. Hibs winning today does them a big favour. Aberdeen, Motherwell and St Johnstone might get to a point where they're having to look over their shoulder rather than what's going on ahead of them, the way that they've been going. Aberdeen haven't won since the 2nd of January in the league. And we know the ills of St Johnstone in recent times. As Hearts come forward down the right-hand side of the box, the pass from Atkinson straight off Yilmaz, breaks back to Yilmaz, where he can shepherd it behind for the goal kick. St Johnstone have lost their last 3 after a run of 1 defeat and 5, and they've only won once away from home in the Premiership this season, so no surprise that they're in trouble. Going Going into the business end of the season, 2 points above County as it stands. County have a game in hand as well over them. That's surely a foul on Dessers, it is, by Kent. That's a free kick to Rangers just before the midway point of the Rangers half. Rangers 4-0 up here at Ibrox, here on Sportsound, on BBC Radio Scotland FM, on Sounds, online at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland. Hibs 1, Dundee 0, Kilmarnock 2, Aberdeen 0, Ross County 2, Livingston 1. St Mirren have managed to grab that second goal against St Johnstone as Rangers come down the left with Cortez, who slips it back to Lundstrom and then out to Yilmaz over on the far side. Now with John Lundstrom, steps away from Shanklin, rolls it into Silva, left hand side, and he scores! Left angle in the 6-yard box, and Fabio Silva rifles it under Zander Clark into the bottom reverse right hand corner. The league leaders are running amok here against Stevie Naismith's Hearts. It is Rangers 5, Heart of Midlothian 0.
And I might say, I think that might be the pick of the bunch in terms of the build-up play between Lundstrom, between Cortez and Yilmaz. Eventually ends up with Lundstrom driving at the heart of the Hearts defence, and he just plays a wonderful reverse pass for the forward Ronnie Silva. No look pass for Lundstrom, and Silva gets on it first time, left foot across Zander Clark, hits it nice and early before he can get set into the far corner. 5-0 Rangers, and it's been a top level performance for this Rangers team this afternoon.
Yeah, I said it went under Clark. He does get fingertips onto it, Alan, but not enough to keep out Fabio Silva.
I agree with Kenny. I think that's the goal of the game so far. Brilliant pass, great play. I think Lundstrom's been excellent again. Lovely weighted pass to Silva, and his finish across Zander into the back of the net. It's been a great goal for Rangers, really good team performance. And Kenny sees Rangers more than me, but if they've played better than that this season, I've yet to see it.
Well, they've not, that's it, as simple as that. I mean, I thought they were very good against Aberdeen here a couple of weeks ago, but not to this level. It's just the feel-good factor, it's the energy that they've played with, the intensity they're playing, not just on the ball, off the ball as well. They've been right after Hearts as soon as they lose it this afternoon. Very impressive.
Yeah, and they're not done yet. There's still a quarter of this game to go, and that's the concern for Naismith and co down below us.
Can I go?
No, you're stuck here, I'm afraid. There's plenty air to fill, and we know you're very good at doing that, Alan. Although you are being tested here. Atkinson up to Grant, side foot ball into the midfield, cut out by Diamandi. Here's Dessers. Silva's at the edge of the box. He tries to disguise the pass to Dessers, but it's cut out by Kent. And Hearts able to get it away to this near side Forest. Hearts' heaviest defeat this season came at the hands of the Greek side Pauk, 4-0. It was in the Toumba Stadium in northern Greece, but they're eclipsing it here. 5-0 to Rangers as Atkinson picks up for Hearts over on the far side for Grant. The Championship then are both goalless with Cally Thistle. Ayr 1, Wraith 2, Dundee United 2, Queen's Park 1, Morton 2, Airdrieonians 0. As Cortez comes forward, squares it to Silva, has it pinched off him. He wanted too long. He was perhaps tempted to pass it to McCausland rather than shoot. That allows Nieuwenhof to pick it up off him. He drives across halfway and finds Tagawa, and now Nieuwenhof left to right of the centre circle for Grant, and out to Atkinson wide on the right. The overlap from George Grant, looks up Atkinson, cross ball, lovely header there, Shanklin hits the post, and then the dink clearance by James Tavernier. That's as close as Hearts have come, and Lawrence Shanklin's the wood to the post away from scoring his 26th goal of the season. And whilst he wouldn't have celebrated it, clearly because his team is being hammered here, that would have been a big moment for him personally to take him to within 2 of last season's total.
Yeah, it's a really good header. You know, he's got to put a lot on it. There's not a lot of pace on the ball from Atkinson. He's quite far out as well, Shanklin. He gets a good head to it. Butland's beat all ends up, crashes off the post.
League One Cove still 1-1 with Annan. It's now 1-1 between Hamilton and Alloa. 2 goals in the space of 3 minutes. And that one, Hamilton Accies 1, Alloa 1 in League One. Kelty Hearts 0, Falkirk 1 is still the scoreline, as is Stirling Albion 2, Edinburgh City 0, Queen of the South Montrose. 5:30 kickoff live on BBC Alaba. League 2, Dumbarton 2, Stranraer 1's a full time. East 5-0, Forfar 1, Peterhead 1, Elgin City 1, Spartans 2, Bonnyrigg 1, and whoa. Stenhousemuir 1, Clyde 6.
Wow.
And that's astonishing.
You've never seen that result.
That's what's in front of me. I mean, we'll double check that. Here's Tagawa for Hearts. in the Rangers box, rolling it back to the edge of the area for Grant. Now it's with Devlin, under pressure from Silva. The pass cut out, and Silva gets it to Cortez, and it's back with Silva over on that far side. Now stretching his legs goes Cortez, shows too much of it though to Nieuwenhof, and then he fouls the Hearts number 8, and that's going to be a free kick to the visitors. 5-0 Rangers heading towards the final 20, and a double change coming up. Raskin and Wright are coming on. Diamande, got Rangers first, will come off, and not clear who the other Rangers player that's coming off is. Now, yeah, it's Cortez, and yeah, wide player for wide player. I suppose Scott Wright will come on.
Yeah, you could just see in that last attack, Philip come on talking about his players being hungry this week. Look at these, seen the blue jerseys that were kind of flooding forward. McCausland was getting Yilmaz, Cortez, Diamande. We're all getting in support of Dessers from that last counter-attack. There's a real hunger and desire about this team now, not just to settle for this 5, but to really go make a statement out with what they've already done.
And I think the thing is, it's not just an 11, Kenny, and Kenny touched on it at the start of the programme, the amount of players that the manager of Rangers has used this year, and that's it. You know, they all seem to be buying into what he wants to. You know what it's like as a player, you want to play every week, and that isn't the case, but they all seem to be buying into what he's telling them. That when he came in, it was 4 fronts they were fighting on. Still got 3 fronts to go.
Derek Ferguson goal between St Mirren and St Johnstone. 2-0 last we heard to the home team.
3-0 now, Liam. Magnificent play from Kwon in the middle of the park. Rob Smith drives forward past the man, then gets the striking goal into the back of the net. Too easy for St Mirren at the moment. I tell you what, they look a sorry lot, do St Johnstone at the moment. St Mirren 3, St Johnstone 0.
Well, there you go. St Mirren off the back of a couple of defeats there. Lost their last 2 after a couple of wins. Just over 50,000 inside Ibrox, 50,300 odd. The official attendance has been passed around, so there wasn't a seat to be had, save for the segregation over on the far side. St Mirren, their last 10 in the league, 1-4 drawn, 1 lost 5. It's been a bit of a mixed bag, but that is a comprehensive victory that's coming their way as they chase European football for the first time since they won the Scottish Cup in 1987. They were fighting for it last season, but surely that's top 6 for St Mirren. They've been there all season.
So
really deserve
if that's
it.
the case, then Liam, you've got Aberdeen, Hibs and Dundee fighting for that final place.
That's it. As Forrest comes forward, it comes all the way through to Butland. Motherwell might have something to say about that as well. They're still in there. They're the same points as Aberdeen.
Well, 3 or 4
losing today.
3 or 4 don't go in 1.
No, that's right. And it's going to be a... I mean, if Hibs or Aberdeen don't, when you consider the budget, if they don't get in the top 6, that is massive failure in both those clubs' part. Albeit Hibs 1-0 up in Dundee today, heading for a win as it stands. Aberdeen, though, it's going to be another defeat against Kilmarnock, and ironically Derek McInnes, who didn't lose a single game there as Aberdeen manager, is about to beat them 3rd successive time at Rugby Park.
You wonder what that goes into the player's psyche when the manager of your club says the other team's favourites to beat you today.
It's not just about the other team, you know, it's about when it's Aberdeen, and
exactly.
like you've just alluded about budgets, and again, just look at their squad, like the players they've got, like, you know, I even think for our players, doesn't that give you an excuse? Well, your manager doesn't even think you're going to win, you know.
Yeah, the problem for Aberdeen is the chairman there wants them to be in the top 100 clubs in Europe, but his manager right now says they're underdogs going to play Kilmarnock, can't get in the top 6 in Scotland. Yeah, exactly. Throw in for Hearts. Atkinson bowls it to Shanklin. Back to Atkinson over on the right hand side. Battling for it with them is Raskin, who's going to get a run of games again, coming off the bench this afternoon. 5-0 Rangers, 73 on the clock. That 3rd St Mirren goal, by the way, has been disallowed for a foul on Kwon in the build-up. It was Kwon who thought he'd scored the goal. So Kwon with the foul by the looks of things, or by the sounds of things, will remain at 2-0. Not that that's going to make the St Johnstone supporters feel much better, the way things are going for them. As Goldson slides in, prevents Nieuwenhof running in behind him into the box. And out it goes for a Hearts throw-in on this near side. Cochrane takes, and now it's with Forrest. Slips with the outside of the boot for Nieuwenhof. 6-1, by the way, confirmed. Stenhousemuir losing 6-1 at home to Clyde. I can't quite get my head around that. You see anomalies pop up now and again, but that is spectacular. 3 wins all season, 8 points going into this, adrift the 9th place Stranraer Clyde. And it's Stenhousemuir, the league leaders, runaway league leaders, 1, Clyde 6. Amazing. There's Silva, shout. There's man on there. Silva is under pressure. He's managed to release Yilmaz left-hand side of the centre circle into the Hearts half. Here is McCausland. He's got Yilmaz in the overlap. He's onto it now. Steps away from one man. Rolls it into the box for Dessers. He can't control. Hearts clear. Silva with a foul, and that will be a free kick to Hearts at the edge of the area. And they're going to have some dusting down to do at Rickerton in the next couple of days, Alan.
Well, I don't think Xander Clark's been at fault for any of the goals, Liam, but do you wonder what this does for the goalkeeper? And you've got Craig Gordon sitting on the bench there. Do you change it for Wednesday night? I don't know.
On the basis of it's going to be a big defeat, regardless of how many more, if Rangers get any more goals. But it's at Ibrox as well, and as you say, he's not been at fault for any of it.
No,
and the defensive record has been talked about being really, really positive. It's been 9 wins and a draw from 10 games. It would be incredibly harsh if that was to happen.
No, I would agree with you, Kenny. I've got to agree, but I'm just thinking, I'm desperate for Craig Gordon and Xander Clark to go to the Euros.
I think Xander Clark only goes there if he continues in goal, doesn't he? Craig Gordon, because of his experience, you wonder whether he goes anyway. And he's playing the cup games, yeah.
It must be the first time at the number 1 and number 2 would go to a major tournament.
Forrest with a chance here, left-hand side of the box, shoots straight at Butland though. Comfortable take for the Rangers keeper. In the final 15 here, that's a sloppy pass out of defence by Raskan. Here's Forrest. Raskan redeems himself, pokes it away from Forrest, and then Rangers give it away again. It's gone straight to Cammy Devlin. Here's Cochrane, and then to Devlin. Rangers fans 5-0 up.
One more.
Top of the league, going 5 more. Clear, and they're annoyed that they're not able to string every pass together.
Quite right as well. They were easy passes for Raskan.
That's for standards, I suppose, aren't there? When you're in these dominant positions to want more. The best managers have always wanted that. As Hearts come forward, there's been a goal at Easter Road. Hearts have an attack here. They've got an overlap from Cochrane. It's back to Shanklin at the edge of the box. Can't work the 1-2 with Devlin. Without any further ado, Jim Duffy and Leith.
Yeah, against the run of play, I have to say that, but Dundee have equalised. A long throw into the box. Shaughnessy throws it right in there. Jordan McGee a little flick on. Hibs didn't clear it. Came to the edge of the box, and Luke McCowan with that sweet left foot on the half volley drilled it low into the bottom corner. So 1-1 here at Easter Road.
So Luke McCowan with the goal there, Jim was saying. So that's his 6th of the season. He joins Zach Robinson at the top of the scoring charts for Dundee. So
having a great season, McKellen is Dundee's best player for me.
If Dundee can emerge from that, and Jim was telling us it's been all Hibs. Dundee have been struggling a little bit, and a point's a great result for them, and a good result for them. And looking for a third successive top flight win for the first time since 2014 under Paul Hartley, though. Perhaps they could go on and get that. So 1-1 at Easter Road. 2-0 Kilmarnock against Aberdeen, 2-1 Ross County against Livingston. We'll maybe get back to Ian and Dingle in a moment to see how that game's going. Aren't Livingston going to manage to pinch a point to take back down the road from the Highlands? Here is Alan Forrest on the near side. It's going to be changes for Bode in a moment. And Shanklin goes down, foul by Raskan. Free kick Hearts to the left of the D. Nick Walsh is booking the Belgian under-21 international Raskan as well. So free kick, here come the changes, and Lawrence Shanklin's going to come off the last 12 minutes, and they want to keep him fresh for the derby during the week, but he tosses the captain's armband away in frustration, much to the delight of the Rangers supporters. He was almost perpetually linked with a move here in January, much to the annoyance of the Hearts fans. And it's not been his afternoon, and he's unable to continue his scoring streak, and he is replaced by Fraser. And Rangers, Kenny, are going to take off Cyril Dessers. Almost bang on your prediction of 80 minutes, 79 minutes. Dessers comes off. He's going to have to settle with his 2 goals today, and he'll be replaced by Kemar Roof, who's back from injury again.
Yeah, I think the Rangers fans will give him a warm welcome back onto the pitch. Kemar Roof. Cyril Dessers coming off again, had a wee opportunity to get the hat-trick, but he's got his 15th, 16th goal of the season. Good return so far. It's another strong performance.
Right, after this free kick for Hearts, we're going to get an update from Dingwall, from Ian, hopefully, if he's around. If not, we will. Yeah, he's apparently reporting on sports scene results just now, so maybe hear from him shortly. 2-1 Ross County. Might have been a change in the scoreline at Tannadice. We'll get to that in a moment in the Championship. I'll run you through the scores when we get them. And it's going to be a free kick to Hearts here. And Scott Fraser is just on alongside George Grant. 4-man Rangers wall, 5-0 to the home team. Grant takes it and Buckland holds on as Grant looks for that top left corner. And it will remain Rangers 5, Hearts 0 as we approach 80 minutes. It's a shot on target, but this game can't end quickly enough for the Hearts supporters. Jim Duffy, has been another goal quickly at Easter Road.
Yeah, we thought there would be a few goals here and again. Hibs back in front, Mao leader this time. Fantastic individual goal, picks the ball up, goes one-on-one with the defender, chops inside, left foot, right foot, and then fires a high into the net past Trevor Carson. 2-1 Hibernian.
Here come Rangers, chip ball, looking for Silva's headed away by Cochrane, and then Fraser clears from the edge of his own box. Macaulay Tate will be on for Hearts shortly. And here's Tagawa. Back it comes to Forrest. I said there'd been a change in the scoreline at Tannadice. We'll go to Miller in just a moment. It's Alan Forrest down this left-hand side, taking on Tavernier and Goldson. Nowhere really to go. And he's passed it through the legs of Goldson. Only to Tavernier. Willie Miller at Tannadice.
Yeah, it looks as though it's all over, Liam. It's a third goal for Dundee United. On the break, Queen's Park were pushing to try to get the equaliser, but Grieve down the right-hand side, fabulous run, gets his head up, picks out Glenn Middleton just on the edge of the box. He takes a little touch, he knows exactly what he's doing, picks his spot and rams it home. 3-1 United.
They're into the final 7 or 8 minutes in Dingwall, and Ian Auld is back with us. Ian, any sign of Livingston finding an equaliser, or County looking likely to hold on?
Not yet, Liam, but I tell you what, it's tight and it's tense in the final 7.5 minutes or so. But Davy Martindale is going for it. He brought on 2 subs at the break. Bruce Anderson had the impact and got the goal. Daniel Mackay's been really good for them. They've still got Tete Yengi on the park, and they've just brought on Curtis Guffrey, and right back Jamie Brandon has gone off. So Davy Martindale throwing the kitchen sink at Ross County. Still the home side lead by 2-1.
Livingston had won that game, they would be level on points with County, having looked completely and utterly marooned. They could be completely and utterly marooned again though, because if that is a County win, and it, as it stands it will be, that gap goes back to 6 points at the bottom. Here's Roof for Rangers, taking on Cochrane. Couldn't quite get away from Fraser, and Hearts have it back over on the right with George Grant. Right of the centre circle goes down, free kick's been given. Nick Walsh had his back to that. Not sure how he was able to make that decision. Anyway, Arbroath have taken the lead against Cali Thistle in the Championship. I'll get the scorer for you shortly, but Arbroath 1, Inverness Cali Thistle 0, and that could be a
right up at the bottom of the league, does it not?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I mean, that is, once you get absolute confirmation of that, that is a massive one for the Lichties, and that would take them to within 6 points of Cali Thistle, and they'd have a game in hand as well. So Duncan Ferguson's side dropping down to 9th in the table after Dunfermline's shock win last night, as that comes forward for Fraser inside the Rangers box. Side foot effort's really easy for Jack Buckland to hold on to, and here at Ibrox it stays Rangers 5, Hearts 0. With that win for Dunfermline last night, 3-1 at Partick Thistle. I say surprise win. Thistle feeling massively aggrieved to have lost that game.
Most bizarre decision I've seen of the season, I must admit.
I mean, it could be so costly for them, even if it means they get into the playoffs and it costs them 3rd place and means they have to play away from home in the second leg of the quarter-finals. I mean, even that would be potentially a huge opportunity missed for the Jags off the back of that. Dunfermline rocketing up to 6th. It's very tight though in that division between 5th and 9th in the Championship. And Arbroath taking the lead late on against Cali Thistle as Tavernier finds Silva. Here's right, back to Silva. Silva couldn't quite get away from Devlin, and Hearts are able to get it clear. Here is Alan Forrest driving forward, and he's looking to slip it out to the right hand side. Tagawa on the 18-yard line, he shoots for goal and forces the save from Butland. He did well there, the Rangers keeper, desperate to keep his clean sheet, and Devlin puts it behind for the goal kick as he tried to at least win the corner. It was Adam McKinnon who got that Arbroath goal on 80 minutes. So Arbroath 1, Cali Thistle 0, 5-0 here at Ibrox. And there's been a goal in the game between Ross County and Livingston. Ian Auld.
It's a massive goal, Liam. It's come for the visitors. Bruce Anderson at the double. Tete Yengi squared it to him in the 18-yard box. And he fired beyond George Wickens. What an impact Bruce Anderson has had coming on as a half-time sub. 2 goals, and it's brought Livingston right back into this one. However, I'm just hearing that there's a VAR check for this one as well.
Of course
so
there is. Of course. There's Roof for Rangers. If that stands, Livingston, I know it doesn't make inroads on Ross County, but David Martindale from 2-0 down, if he can take a point down the road tonight, he'll be absolutely delighted with that, I am sure. It is a throw into Rangers up the pitch here. Meantime, this game's just playing out here. That's why we're trying our best to focus on everything else that's going on across the country. Some huge matches elsewhere. This one's been done for quite some time now, and I'll get you through the score lines in a moment. Across the 4 divisions, it's Roof for the ball up along the 18-yard lines, headed away. There's going to be a free kick given to Hearts on the edge of their own box. So Hibs 2, Dundee 1 at Easter Road. Kilmarnock 2, Aberdeen 0 at Rugby Park. 5-0 Rangers here. Ross County 2, Livingston 2 now in Dingwall. We're hearing from Ian. St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 0 in the Championship. Arbroath 1, Cally Thistle 0, Ayr United 1, Raith Rovers 2, Dundee United 3, Queen's Park 1, and Morton 2, Airdrieonians 0. And no sooner have I said that, Billy Dodds.
Yeah, Airdrie have a lifeline with 5 minutes to go. It's just a straightforward corner to the back post. Callum Fordyce nodded it in. It's now Morton 2, Airdrie 1.
Kenny celebrating. He must have both teams to score or something like that. Anyway, that's what it is it? Yes, it is. Of course it is. Wild celebrations to my right. Anyway, that's given Airdrieonians an opportunity, perhaps going into the very closing stages of that one in League One. Cove Rangers 2, Annan 1. So Cove have restored the lead in that one, having led early and been pegged back. It's now Cove Rangers 2, Annan 1, Hamilton 1, Alloa 1, Kelty 0, Falkirk 1, and Stirling Albion now 4-0 up on a stricken Edinburgh City. Queen of the South Montrose kicks off in about 40 minutes time live on BBC Alaba. League 2, the 2 o'clock kick-off finished on Barton 2, Stranraer 1. It was East Fife 1, Forfar 1 going into the final few minutes. Peterhead 1, Elgin City 1. They're in stoppage time there. Spartans 2, Bonnyrigg 1. And Stenhousemuir 1, Clyde 6. Amazing scoreline at Ochilview. Rangers have it 5-0 up here. It's Wright poking it back out to the left-hand side for Yilmaz, who plays it off Grant and out for a throw-in to the home team as it's bowled back to John Suter. And now with Connor Goldson. Side foot ball forward to Lundstrom, right of the centre circle, long ball. Silva giving chase. He's going to get onto it. He's volleyed it! And it's saved by Clark. Well, Kingsley wasn't expected. That's a really good effort from Silva. Here's Yilmaz on the other side with the cross, headed away by Kingsley. 87 on the clock, Rangers 5, Hearts 0. But Fabio Silva's brought out the very best of Xander Clark there.
I must say, when you were talking about maybe the goalkeeper, I think Xander Clark's had not bad afternoon, by the way. Yeah. He's had about 4 or 5 decent saves, and that one was the pick of the bunch. Silva's effort was incredible. He just lets it drop over his left shoulder, turns and hits it with his right foot first time for the angle. And Xander Clark had to be right at the top of his game to keep that and stop it going 6.
Brilliant technique from Silva.
Just looking at Livingston's fixtures there, obviously back on terms in Dingwall now. They've got Livingston at home Motherwell at home on Wednesday, and then they go to St Johnstone next Saturday. I mean, the league table could have a very different complexion by the close of business next Saturday if Livingston win those 2 games after today, and even if they pop up with a late winner as they did at Firhill in extra time in the Cup recently, 2-2 against County today.
Well, I think the good thing is for the whole league, there's something. The top 2 are going for the title. The top 6 has still got a bit of fight left in it.
Little bit.
You'll not be too pleased being an Aberdeen fan, but I get that. But the bottom as well, Livingston are out of it at the moment. You know, and then even the playoff place.
Yilmaz, Silva, good first touch, it's headed half away, and then Cochrane gets there ahead of Scott Wright on this near side, and then wallops it clear up towards the halfway line. Comes off the toe of Lundstrom, back into the Hearts half. Fraser's onto it. We head towards minute 90 here. Macaulay Tate covering across. He can't quite keep it in play though, and it's out for a throw-in on this near side. I believe there's 7 minutes of stoppage time in the game in Dingwall between Ross County and Livingston, with the scoreline at 2-2 as Goldson moves it to the left for Suter. We'll go back to Ian shortly. We need to keep tabs with Ian for the closing 7 minutes of that game. As Yilmaz comes forward, here's Roof at the edge of the Hearts box, rolling it to the right for Scott Wright. His cross cut out by Cochrane, and out for a throw-in on this near side. Kenny?
Yeah, I was just thinking about Yilmaz again. I think he's been another, I mean, again, you'd be hard-pressed to find a player who's not performed in blue jerseys this afternoon, but again, Yilmaz in that left-back spot, he's found it tough in his Rangers career so far, but the second half of this season, he's been one of Rangers' best performers.
Ball into the Hearts box is cleared, it breaks to Tavernier, just nods it back to Goldswin and goes back into his own half for Suter. Deep in the 90th minute here just now, Ian Alden Dingwall. That's 7 minutes of stoppage time. That could be so dramatic, not just for this afternoon, but for the whole Premiership season down in the basement.
When I saw the 7 minutes, Scott Livingston have been the better side, but here come Ross County actually with Josh Shims. There's the goal that Ross County want, and they've got it, and Josh Shims has delivered it. Drills the ball low down from the edge of the 6-yard box to beat Shamal George. Davy Martindale is absolutely gutted. He was bouncing up and down when Livingston scored an equaliser, but he's dejected now. Ross County, a massive goal, and a massive goal at the relegation battle as well.
Wow, well, Ian, Josh Sims, we know that Josh Sims last season wrote his name into Ross County history with that decisive penalty that kept them in the top flight. Well, that is a massive goal. It's not quite of that level, but it may well now have won the game for Ross County, having chucked away a 2-0 lead. They are 3-2 up in second half stoppage time, as Wright picks up for Rangers, who lead 5-0 here. Wright was fouled, and that's going to be a free kick to Rangers, almost 25 yards from goal, slightly left to centre. Scott Wright scored a couple of goals against Hearts in Rangers colours at Hampden, Scottish Cup final, and this season's League Cup semi. It's going to be 4 wins out of 4 for Rangers against the maroon and white half of Edinburgh. A 5-0 cruise for them this afternoon. Stephen Naismith, who starred for Rangers under Walter Smith here, is down there with hands in pockets. You'll just be hoping that this doesn't get any worse. It's full-time whistles beginning to go across the country, and it's all over at Somerset Park, and Raith Rovers have picked up another huge win after 5 successive defeats. They've beaten Dundee United and Ayr United as Tavernier shoots, Clark holds on from the free kick, and it stays Rangers 5, Hearts 0 at Ibrox. 5 minutes of injury time added on here, and we're well into it. Full-time reports to come. How will this affect Hearts?
Listen, Hearts have been terrific. Take nothing away from them. Stephen Naismith and his team been terrific, but simply they've been outclassed, outfought, and well beaten on the day. You know, there's a massive gulf between Rangers and probably Celtic as well, and the rest. I mean, if Hearts can finish third, they're the best of the rest, and that's as good as it's going to get. They're not going to be able to split Celtic and Rangers for the foreseeable future, unless someone comes in with pots and pots of money, which I can't be seen happening for anybody.
And look, the coefficient in Europe is about to nosedive because of the performances over the last couple of seasons. So I think one more season of guaranteed group stage football for the team. As it stands, it wins the Scottish Cup. So Hearts will be thinking, if they're not going to win the Scottish Cup, and they'll hope they will, they go to Capello in the next round. They've got big ambitions to lift the Scottish Cup for the first time in 12 years this season. And if they don't, they then need to hope that Celtic or Rangers win the Scottish Cup rather than one of the other teams who remain in the competition.
Yeah, you're right. It's worth millions of pounds if they can win the Scottish Cup or finish third, and Celtic and Rangers win the Scottish Cup, either or. But their season shouldn't be defined on this poor display today. They've been excellent, Liam, they really have. And they put this down to a bad day at the office. You know, Rangers have been excellent.
Final whistles beginning to go. All the Premiership matches are in stoppage time. It's all over. Arbroath 1. Cally Thistle scored late on to salvage a point. Cammy Harper 4 minutes into stoppage time. Arbroath 1, Cally Thistle 1 in the Championship, and that is a full-time score. As I said, Ayr 1, Raith Rovers 2 was, and Dundee United 3, Queen's Park 1 is a full-time. Deep into stoppage time, Morton 2, Airdrieonians 1. Hearts cross into the box through Forest is clutched by Butland. All over Cove Rangers 2, and in 1 in League 1. All over Kelty Hearts 0, Falkirk 1, and Stirling Albion 4, Edinburgh City 0. Then in the 90th minute, Hamilton Accies 1, Alloa 2. So Alloa Athletic have scored late in the day there against second placed Hamilton. That is a huge result when you consider that Alloa are trying to hunt down Accies, the top of the table there in the playoff spots. And as I said earlier, if you can finish second in that one, then you have the option of having that second leg at home. It's all over at Rugby Park. Kilmarnock 2, Aberdeen 0. Derek McInnes once again delivering for Killie. Here's Rascan for Rangers. He shoots on the edge of the area. Left-footed, comfortable take for Xander Clark in the end. League 2, 2 o'clock kick-off. They're all finished actually in League 2. Dumbarton 2, Stranraer 1. I finished an hour ago. East Fife 1, Forfar 1, Peterhead 1, Elgin 1, Spartans 2, Bonnyrigg 1, and Stenhousemuir 1, Clyde 6. Gary Naismith, I'm pretty sure, will be disbelieving of that. That's astonishing. Absolutely incredible. All over here at Ibrox. Daylight for Rangers. Clear daylight right now at the top of the Premiership as Philippe Clement goes down there and embraces Stephen Naismith, whose side's winning run ends at 8. They've been magnificent this calendar year, and they'll hope to get back on track when they welcome neighbours Hibernia into Tynecastle on Wednesday evening, and then Celtic come calling next Sunday. But they'd simply no answer to Rangers, who delivered one of, if not their best performance of the Premiership season, or perhaps even all told. They just swept Hearts away, and the tone was set early on. Mohamed Diomande scored early today inside the opening, just gone into the second minute it was, having opened the scoring at McDermott last week. Given to him by Cortes. Diomande fired home from the edge of the box before Cortes himself helped himself to his first Rangers goal in 37 as he guided it home side-footed into the same bottom right corner that Diomande found. Dessers, just before the break, made it 3 with a really nice finish right-hand side of the 6-yard box. And that was the half-time scoreline. Dessers and sub Silva would gloss up the scoreline in the second half. The game played out for the final quarter without too much riding on it, but Rangers have made a big statement here. I mean, they have just swept away the next best outside the big Glasgow 2 that Scottish football has to offer. Simply swept them away. Back along the M8 they will go, and it's now a 5-point gap at the top of the Premiership that Rangers enjoy, and that piles the pressure on Brendan Rodgers' champions tomorrow as Celtic go to Motherwell. High noon kick-off at Fir Park, and all eyes will be on that. It's been a dramatic day as ever across the SPFL, and here at Ibrox it finished Rangers 5, Heart of Midlothian 0.
This is Sports Sound
From BBC